Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Moran and now I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 457. Now in this episode, we're going to do our midseason awards, but a little bit differently. We will have an SGA versus Jokic debate, who's having a better season, but then we're going to do some Pick a Side awards, like what have been the best and worst offseason signings, midseason contenders and pretenders. And then in the NFL, the season is over, but free agency is not too far off from the time we're in right now. So we're going to preview free agency and then talk about the Saints hiring Kellen Moore a little bit and more. How you guys doing?
Fellas, it's Valentine's Day for you guys, man.
Sir.
Tomorrow's the big day.
Dude, happy Valentine's Day to you, man.
Mm-hmm. You know me, man. I'm a
Happy
guy
self-care day.
I live my life on the edge. You know, I live my life on the edge, and tomorrow I will be with my son. Happy Valentine's Day to my son.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
You getting him some fruit?
No.
No?
We already have fruit in the house.
I understand that because
I'm with you. It just caught me off guard that you asked that. That's all. No, we have fruit in the house.
Because I was going to ask him chocolate or nothing. You told me last time. He just
He's
fruit.
not really a big fan of chocolate. He does love brownies, though.
The NFL season is over, but basketball season is, we're right here in the heart
midst of it, baby.
And if you guys want to use prospects and you guys want to play and have fun while watching basketball, you can if you go to prospects and use code PAS, play $5 and get $50 and help support the podcast out.
You could do that. Maybe make some brownies with them.
The comments weren't thrilled about the Kendrick Lamar disrespect up here.
West Coast guys came out. I want you guys to know from the bottom of my heart, I don't give a fuck. I need you guys to know that from the bottom of all that nonsense you guys are spewing. I will forever talk music because I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That really killed me. It was interesting. I definitely read all of them. A lot of them really were not nice to you and Dehls. I got some slack as well. I thought it was unwarranted, but it was funny nevertheless. I wanted to ask because I don't want to talk about music. I genuinely don't. What is the equivalent for the guys for Galentine's Day? You know what Galentine's is?
Yeah.
So Galentine's is basically for the girls that are single. They do it. I don't know if it's just single.
I don't think it's single.
I think it's just girls.
Chelsea was talking about having a Galentine's with her
girls
friends.
just getting together, enjoying the friendship between one another.
That's a good question.
What is the guys' version of that? And I was really trying to think about
multiple things for it. I feel like
playing video games.
The one that I came up with legitimately is Fantasy Draft Day. That is the closest I can think of.
It's the best day of the year.
Just going out all day, hanging out with your guys. You're just doing the most guy things humanly possible. You're going, you're drafting, you're gambling, you're drinking, you're having a good time. That's the closest I got.
I think for me, it's probably like a few things come up. Like just a guy's day to go play ball. You know, like you go play ball, you with the guys, and you go out and get something to eat. And then it's just you guys all day with each other for like 5, 6, 7 hours. And you just enjoy your time. It could be like watching a big game, whether it be an NBA game. We all link up at somebody's house and we just enjoy each other's time. There's no, for guys, I feel like there's no real setup. Yeah, there's no real setup.
Could be doing a podcast.
Yeah, we don't sit there and let's play in this guys.
See, but that's exactly what I mean. What are the only things we really plan?
Because, like going out and watching a game or playing ball, like that's something you could do multiple times a week.
Day shit.
But it's something you're planning. Fantasy football, that might be it.
Yeah, everything doesn't do. Everybody, I don't do fantasy. That's why. So I don't really have that whole just.
Yeah, I don't have that in-person draft experience where we have the board in front of us and stuff. I would just say maybe just playing just having the party full when you play video games.
Oh, a party full is a night.
It's true.
It's a night. Woo!
If you get a whole squad, you run search and destroy. You got the whole squad going in that party chat. It's live.
Yeah, because sometimes at most you get maybe 2-3 people that are joining you.
Yeah.
But if you have a whole squad and you guys can talk through what you guys are doing, like you got a full 5 and you're playing rec for 2K.
True.
That's one of those things. It's a very intimate man experience.
That's a fact.
A guy's night out is dope too. It's just the guys. Everybody just leaves their significant other at home. And all the guys pull up, when you have that one or two that's missing. Now, when everybody shows
someone's
up,
got a pen around.
Yeah,
that rarely happens.
That's unfortunate.
I was playing 2K with my cousin yesterday, and he was we were playing Madden, and we were playing Superstar Showdown, which is I love that game a lot. It's really fun.
It is.
But we went to 2K because we were kind of losing, and I was like, let's play 2K. I invite him to the park, and then I look at his 2K card. I'm like, you're a 60? And I'm like, my goodness. I'm like, okay, let's still play. So we were playing twos, and we actually won the first 2 games. I'm a center, so we got like matched up with guards, and I was able to just dominate that matchup. And it was just funny because I told him in the most polite way that he's not good because he was open from 3. You know, they were doubling me, and then he took the open 3. And then I was like, yo, bro, you don't got the overall for that.
Oh, my God. Violated
He was like, you can't take those shots. You can only take shots if you're around the basket, wide open, layup. Those are the shots you take. You know, try to just penetrate and pass it to me. That's all you got to do.
The fact that 2K, it's unplayable unless you put money in the game, it really is heartbreaking.
You know that WWE 2K25 is coming out with its own version of My Park?
I'm excited
It's
for
called
that game.
My Island. I don't know how the wrestling match is going to work in it, but, you know, I don't have any faith that 2K is going to get it right with WWE. It just feels like another way to get a lot of microtransactions.
It's a fact.
But I just hate that in games. Like, it's one thing to make the microtransactions achievable. Like, for example, Madden, I think, has the most broken system. Because in Madden, you play Showdown, and you can play for so long. And you accumulate these kind of coins that you can go into the store and you can buy different gear for, like helmets, you know, a jersey, pants, you know, arm sleeves, gloves, all of this different stuff. A jersey or pants in the game costs about 40,000 of this virtual money. And the only way to get 40,000 is by playing a lot. So you can't.
How many coins do you get a game?
Man, like maybe 100.
Damn.
Like literally you get like nothing per game. So like you have to grind to maybe make the selection of getting like 3 jerseys at most, you know? So I feel like it's the most broken like microtransaction system in a game right now.
Yeah, video games are broken right now, and it's sad. That's why I'm happy that people are enjoying Marvel Rivals. I'm happy that there's games like that still excite people, that get people to want to play the game. But even me, I'm not a huge fan of Marvel Rivals, or at least I haven't even given it a try yet. But I know that that's a game that has the gaming community in a headlock right now.
It's great. It's just sweaty right now.
Which I have seen that running around too. That's like impossible to get great
We're
at
only
it.
a few months away from GTA 6, man.
Oh,
few
dude,
months away.
I'm excited, man.
You know, much like the league rescinded the Lakers Mark Williams trade,
Here we go.
I wanted to rescind my original statements on the halftime performance because I'll be honest, in full transparency, last podcast when we were here,
You
didn't
watch
watch it.
the only time I watched the halftime performance was in real time. And while I was watching it, I was very much worried about the Chiefs and how they were going to come out in the second half.
I respect that.
So I wasn't really paying attention to it. You know, I was just listening to it. But I watched it last night, and then I watched it this morning. And I do think it was a great, phenomenal performance. Like, I do. I think
We are not shocked.
We're talking about this shit again.
I sent Riv the Instagram video of this girl breaking down all of the meanings behind Kendrick Lamar's performance.
Yeah, I saw it. I watched it for like 2 seconds.
Me too. I saw the first 5 seconds. She went into the first detail. I was like, I'm gonna send this to Riv.
I just feel like I understand the criticism of like he didn't play his best songs, but I thought the track list and the order that the songs went in were perfect in the message that he was trying to convey. So first off, you have Samuel L. Jackson come out as Uncle Stan.
Let's not be dicks here. Let's let him do it.
He says this is the American game, you know, talking about the big football game, but also, you know, there's a hidden meaning behind that.
You did a game tape breakdown for this.
Yes.
Bro, somebody in the comment section left
I saw that.
Essay in I couldn't.
Hey, listen, it's that deep for a lot of people. But then you have everybody popping out the GNX. Then Kendrick is basically freestyling. He's not performing any song at first. And he says the revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Then Squabble Up starts playing. And I think that's perfect just because it's like a West Coast niche sound. It's not a mainstream song. Like Squabble Up is not a mainstream song. So then after that song plays, Samuel L. Jackson goes, no, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. Then he plays Humble after that. Then he plays DNA. And while he's playing Humble, he recreated the American flag with the dancers. So, like, I just thought the song selection of Humble right after Squabble Up, and then to play DNA, and then to play Euphoria, and then have the different sets like the Street Lights and I Deserve It All with all the homies behind him. And then Samuel L. Jackson, this is like kind of a jab at Drake, but it also has multiple meanings. He says, I see you brought the homeboys with you. Culture cheat code. And we know his big thing is like, you know, ripping from different cultures or going to the next big wave and, you know, creating popularity around that. and then Scorekeeper deduct 1 life with them performing in the X and then playing Peekaboo. The conspiracy around Drake being involved in the XXXTentacion murder and stuff. I thought that was
You knew that on your own?
I read it somewhere and then I thought it made a little bit of sense. So yeah, then I wrote it down. And then he teases Not Like Us, but then he's like perform their favorite song, but they love to sue, throwing another jab at Drake.
That one was obvious.
Then they slow it down. They play Luther, then All the Stars, and I felt like it went from like, he's really fitting this like mainstream mold right now of after Squabble Up, all the songs that he played after that were kind of mainstream sounding. And then Samuel L. Jackson's like, that's what America wants. Nice and calm. You almost there. Don't mess this up. And then Kendrick raps, it's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the flow. 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music. And that significance is 40 acres and a mule is back in 1865. When slaves were released from bondage, Abraham Lincoln promised them 40 acres and a mule. It was kind of reparations for slaves. But because he was assassinated, they never made good on that promise. So that is kind of the meaning behind that. And then he goes, try to rig the game, but you can't fake the influence. I think that is a direct shot at what's happening right now with Elon Musk buying Twitter and the influence that he has over that. Then he plays Not Like Us. And then the look at Drake in the camera when he says, I hear you like I'm young. Then Serena Crip walking. Then to end the performance with TV Off, where TV Off, it has its own meaning behind it because with all the mainstream media going on, there's certain things that you got to tune off. You got to really do your own research for and make sure you're getting accurate information. So I just thought the whole performance it told an entire story. And then when I really realized that upon second watch and second listen, I was like, okay, I didn't get this enough credit when I listened to it in the moment. But upon rewatch, I was like, wow, there's so much meaning behind it because I know the big thing that people gravitate towards is just a diss at Drake. But it was the fact that he dissed Drake, but he had like 4 to 5 different things going on within that. It wasn't just like a Drake-centered performance. It was a big part of it because it's the biggest song of the year, but there were so many meanings behind it just with the cinematography, the dancers, the choreography, I should say, not cinematography. And also, I just thought it was impressive how he was able to maintain his breath control while he was rapping. Like 13 minutes, and he performed like what, 7 songs?
Breath control is real.
I understand what he means.
He's professional. I'm expecting that from him.
His stamina. Like the fact that he was able to rap, not sound out of breath.
There's no background music. I'll give him that.
We're praising him like how we praise NBA players for
making
having.
Nah, do you know what? You know what it's like praising Beyonce while she's dancing and also singing, but still sounding amazing. Oh, okay. It's like you're having all this movement. Mm-hmm. Your vocals are still strong. Okay. That's kind of the same. He wasn't singing. He wasn't dancing.
Well, Steph Curry hits a deep 3. You're like, oh, he's a professional, but it's still a great shot.
Especially in overtime. Overtime, you just played.
I get it now.
You played 48 minutes plus another 5, so you played 52. That's why KD going 0 for 6. It's like, come on, bro, you're supposed to have the stamina for that.
Or just make a shot.
He performed 9 songs in 13 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
He didn't perform all of the entire.
No, of course, he couldn't. But it was nine sections of those songs, and we had the conversation last time about the diss. Kendrick had the #1 record from a diss track, won 5 Grammys off that diss track, and performed it at the Super Bowl. Honestly, it was just
Scott can't contain a smile.
If you're beefing with somebody, that's like the ultimate win. Like, there's no coming back from that.
No, there's not.
That was
unless
dope.
You're Drake.
It was dope. I'll say this: it kills me when people call me a Drake fan, because I like Drake. Don't get me wrong. I listen to Drake more than Kendrick.
I would never associate.
I am not
you as
a Drake fan. No. I am not like, oh my god, like
obviously
we've had Drew's
issues in the past. Yeah. I've been like, yo, bro, how don't you like him more?
Drew's the biggest Drake fan I know. I'm nowhere close.
You gotta be careful when you say that. Apparently, that's a knock. It's some bullshit.
But that's what it is, because if you don't like Kendrick these days, it's because you like Drake. And I'm like, I'll be honest, I didn't really like Kendrick's music before Drake, and I still don't like it after. But listen, if he wants to, I'll say this: I think the message he conveyed, he's obviously, this is your performance, you're able to do that. But when you leave out songs that people want, I think it's fair to get people. I think it's fair for people to criticize that. I think that's what people want to hear. Respectfully, I think the message he put out, he could do that. But his core fans are gonna want to hear his core music at the Super Bowl too.
No. Shout out to Kendrick. Really happy for him and his success. He deserves it. As he said, he deserves it all. Really happy for him. Awesome message. Incredible performance. As a set list, as someone who enjoys his music, would have liked different song choices.
And Kendrick's got the right to. It's his set list. It's his day.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? He's got the right. He's one of them ones. He could do what he wants.
I just feel like the difference between him and the other rappers that are in the game is just the political messaging that he conveys. Like To Pimp a Butterfly was an entire political album, pretty much. That's what it was.
Picture of him, his homies outside of the White House. It's a pretty incredible album cover.
It is. It is.
I didn't know if he was being sarcastic or not.
No, I didn't know either. No. But,
You was trying to dissect that?
yeah.
There's nothing to dissect. It's him, his homies, in front of the White House, which, for all intents and purposes, hasn't really supported the African American community.
It's true.
No, yeah, that's why I just feel like that's just a difference. Like, that's why with his performances, I know there are people like, yo, I don't really want to think too hard when I watch this and stuff.
That's the generation too.
Yeah,
you know?
but I do think, that art is meant to be interpreted in that way. And we have artists that some artists just go and they just, they just go by the book and they just sing and they just dance and it's catchy. People like it. And then Kendrick, he takes his art a little bit more seriously in that way.
Yeah.
Trying to convey certain messages without being so direct.
I mean, no one should be surprised. He's done this, I feel like, with every project he's done. Not that I'm sitting there listening to it, but that's what every Kendrick fan tells me.
Because with Donald Trump in the 10, it's like Kendrick Lamar, if you're performing a song, I
just want everyone to know. That's
He's
just what I've heard.
He's transparent.
I don't want to be like, oh, I dissected this and I know X, Y, and Z about all these albums.
get it.
Don't ask me to name 10 Kendrick songs.
Yeah,
I think I
because
can name 10.
can you name 10?
You could probably name 10.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Okay, that's an
Damn.
album. Technically, he named
Mad
two songs.
City? Good
He
Kid, then Mad
technically
City,
named two
yeah.
songs.
All right.
I'll give it to you. You just
fault.
named 2 songs.
Swimming pools.
Yep.
Damn. Luther.
Is Damn a song? I don't think it is.
Damn is a song. isn't
Damn's
it?
the album.
God damn. Is it not a song on there?
I'm like 99% sure.
I know a couple, if you need help.
I don't think it's a song.
Oh, you don't think so? ADHD.
It's not. It's an album.
Oh, well, ADHD is
Yeah, I
up
like
there.
5 or
That
6.
is, well, is ADHD?
ADHD
Yeah,
is
that
a
is
song.
a song. It
I
is a
got
song.
Section 80 is the album.
Yep, he's
There we
cooking.
go. I'm getting somewhere. Here
You're
we go.
good. You're doing
I'm
your
getting
thing.
somewhere. Damn. Wow.
I got a couple off the top of my head.
That's
Humble.
help me work with me. huh?
Okay.
Humble.
Okay.
King
doesn't really
Kunta.
count. Come on.
Did he say bitch don't cut my vibe?
Okay,
No,
man. He did.
here we
say
go.
that.
Here we go. Help me out here because we're fucked.
He has another song that featured Drake that's a hit.
It's actually the most streamed song by Drake. Where we stand
Swimming
right
pools.
now.
I said that.
No.
No,
It's
that's,
on Good Kid, Mad City.
Drake wasn't on that song.
Oh shit. Good kid.
It's the only song the two of them are featured together one another.
I can't remember those.
I don't remember the name of it.
Poetic Justice.
I know the song.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You do.
definitely
I
know
could
the
name
song.
every Kendrick song. Probably.
Believe
Okay.
it.
I say
now you asked me about
probably
Dirk.
from not the last 2 albums, not
go
Mr.
back.
Morale and Big Steppers, and not GNX. I can't name every song from them, but from Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn, I probably could.
I thought you better list every single song to say, bro, we don't gotta do that.
No, Dirk.
I believe you. I believe
And Section 80, I probably could.
We go back to the mixtapes. I can name every Dirk song. And I know y'all was on my about Dirk. I can name every Dirk song.
Nah, JC told me a story about you and Kendrick.
What was the story?
I guess it was your introduction to Kendrick. He told me that you guys were playing basketball.
Okay.
And somebody had the aux, and somebody was playing Keisha's song. Somebody was playing Keisha's song on the aux. And if you guys know that song, it's a song like with the deep message that honestly it's not.
I thought he was talking about Dave East.
It's not a song that you play ball to. And then Riv was like, "Yo, what the fuck we playing ball to?"
Yeah, that was one time somebody was playing that shit, and I was just like, "Yo, bro, it's not a basketball song. Like,
I get
when you
that.
play ball, you want some like Lil Baby, Gunna, like you want to hear that shit. You don't want to hear that shit, man."
What the fuck we playing ball to? Nah, that's funny. No, but yeah, I just had to rescind my original statement.
The
I
only
went
thing
back and watched.
I hated of what you said was the peekaboo and the X and the XXS.
It makes sense though.
Like, you only know that if you hear about it. Not saying you. People reach so hard on shit. It's fucking nuts. Like, yeah, when you say it, I'm not going to say like, okay, got it. Makes sense. But Jesus Christ, people will just reach on anything.
People have
Did
said
you-
that for a minute, Drake and X.
No, that I know, but in the
I got you,
performance,
yeah.
Did you see though that Samuel L. Jackson on his vest he had 16 stars, and those 16 stars, I think, represented 16 of Kendrick's dead homies.
I'll be honest, I couldn't see that.
You know, Herb on his album had 50 stars for his 50 dead homies.
That's real.
Can you name
on
his dead
PTSD.
homies?
Always got to salute. I can't name all of them.
There's
no.
a few of them.
I can name a lot.
Kobe.
Herb got a lot of dead homies, man.
Bezos.
Just go off the. There you go.
Fuck.
Pistol
It's a lot.
P.
Pistol P project, man. Damn.
That was a tough project.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
Greg,
sad it was
his
only like
brother
5
Greg.
songs. I really am sad it was only 5 songs.
Vito, Chico,
Facts.
Simo, Pistol, Kobe Rock. He has
Brother,
a song where he goes through
I
all
don't
of
mean
them.
to be rude, but the same way how you said don't name all his songs.
Stop. Yo, I just asked him. I
don't want to hear all
He had
his
a
dead
homie
homies,
named
bro.
White Folks. I don't know if he was white, but his homie's name was White
Drew,
Folks.
I don't want to hear 50 dead homies.
Yo, come
Let him
on.
rest. Let him rest. Let him
Dehls
rest.
was in tune with DJ Academic's Warren Chirac series.
Now, Herb has a song,
Yeah.
L's, I think it is, where he goes through like 10 or 12 of his homies that died.
He literally. That's how he
Now,
starts.
my favorite song is
Falling
what
Like
is
a
it?
Kobe
Is
Facts.
it 100 or 300 days?
100 days, 100 nights.
100 days, 100 nights.
And then
Gotta
Dirk
get my money
has, I
right.
think, 300 days, 300 nights. Yeah, no, it's hard.
Herb used to be elite.
Oh, my God.
Herb used to actually
Be
be
a guy.
amazing.
He used to be a guy.
Nah, he used to be one of them ones.
Now, when
that
he,
2016 double XL freshman class,
all time.
He used to
I'll
be
be
a guy.
77 years old talking about that shit.
All time.
Herb before the XXL, he was just.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. But
And
that
then-
class was crazy.
And then Bibby was on the.
Now, you know who's grown on me from a music perspective? Lil Yachty. He's
I like
grown.
Lil Yachty.
He's grown on me a lot.
You know what's growing on me? Trippie Redd. I love
Trippie Redd has
Redd's
some hits.
Lil Yachty is
He's
really
nice.
tapped in with the industry. He ghostwrites for so many artists.
City Girls.
Megan Thee Stallion too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he ghostwrites for
Crazy.
so many
ghostwrites.
people.
You wouldn't think. Like,
No,
you
I know, right?
You asked him,
You
you would
wouldn't.
think like, really, Megan? Okay.
Should we read some Megan Thee Stallion lyrics?
No,
She's
Lil
the one
Yachty,
telling her to talk like
his
that.
beat selection is unreal, bro.
It
Like
is
his
really
beats
good.
are OD. Like
You know who else Yachty works with? Drake.
Drake.
He used to. I think they're not cool no more.
I don't think they are cool anymore, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Drake came out of the show with bullet holes and Smoke Steaming from
Was
Bullet
Drake
Holes.
the one who ghostwrited that?
That
Was,
That was tough. You
that
think
was
so?
tough.
you might know this. Was Drake the one that ghostwrited Alicia's Unthinkable?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the greatest songs I've ever heard in my
Nah,
life.
for sure. We
Like,
were
it's-
just
it
listening
is
to that
great.
the other day.
No,
were we
it's
not? Or
truly.
who was I listening to that with?
The video, if you watch the video and then listen to the song, it's truly special work. Like, I listen to that song every day.
No, it's amazing.
It's
Classic.
like
song.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
the
an
era,
amazing
man.
song.
That's the era. Let's get into the basketball talk. We're gonna do
Please.
our mid-season
get in
awards
trouble.
a little bit differently this show. It's not gonna just. We're gonna talk about MVP. I feel like that's the major award, as it is every year. We're not gonna really talk about the other awards. We're just gonna talk about off-season signings, the best and worst, surprises and disappointments of the NBA season. That's kind of how we're gonna do our mid-season awards in that way. Let's talk about MVP first. SGA versus Jokic. SGA is on the number 1 seed. He's averaging 32. He's been amazing on both ends of the floor. But let's be real. Jokic is the best player in the world. And he's playing like the best player in the world. And I think if the season were to end today and the Nuggets are the 3rd seed and OKC is the 1st seed and Jokic does not get MVP, I think it's clearly voter fatigue. Because he's been clearly the best player this year.
It's not even close to me personally. In terms of who's been the best player, it's been Jokic. Who will be the MVP? Joel, your sentiment's spot on. It's going to be SGA, but my MVP is Nikola Jokic. You look at his on and off, and SGA's on and off.
They're
It's
incredible too.
otherworldly
Yeah.
as well. It's just so nuts for me to look at Jokic. It's on and off, and it's just 100 percentile across the board. 100 percentile in points per possession, 100 percentile in EFG, 100 percentile here, 100 percentile in point differential. Period. He's in the 98th percentile in turnover percentage, and we talk about the Nuggets all the time and their ability to not turn the ball over. When you have Jokic, when you have Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray will throw into that account too, who are really strong playmakers, and Russ, who's been known for turning over the ball. They've done a great job of taking care of the ball, and that obviously starts with Nikola Jokic. The one thing I will say, his defense isn't good.
No.
It's not good. And I don't know if that's ever going to change. It's been okay in the past. This season, it's been not good. That's where you look at SGA, you look at Oklahoma City as a whole. We're talking about the best defense in the league, and we're talking about the best offensive player on their team. The way that he's able to generate offense for them, his 3-level scoring, his ability to get to the free throw line, whether people like it or not, it's still a great way of putting points on the board. And he's the real only ball handler on the team. I still would have Jokic. I think Jokic is the best offensive player. They are a top 3 seed right now. They're a game behind the Grizzlies, if I'm not mistaken. He's just been so phenomenal. And obviously you understand the difference when he's on and off the court for Denver. He just makes everybody around him just so much better. We see a resurgence to Russell Westbrook's career. MPJ starting to get it together again. Now Jamal Murray starting to find it as well. And of course, it all begins and ends with Jokic. I have no problem with SGA winning MVP. None at all, truthfully. He's deserving in his own right. But it's similar, in my opinion, to the Lamar and Josh Allen. I think both are having incredible seasons. I just look at the efficiency at what Jokic is doing. It's kind of like Lamar Jackson. I'm keeping that same energy.
Yeah, I think it's close. I feel like every single year we're saying the same thing, right? Who's the best player is Jokic. Who deserves the MVP? It is narrative based to an extent.
No doubt.
It is, who's having the best story, who's on the best team, because like we say every single year, if it's just who's the best player in the world, LeBron should have 15 MVPs. Jokic should have like 6 at this point, but that's not really how it works. So I do think there's a legit case, though, for SGA to be the MVP.
Definitely.
Like, even with Jokic being as historic as he is, as great as he is, SGA is having, like, an all-time efficient season as well. He's averaging 35-5 this year, 50% or better he's the first guard since Michael Jordan to average 35-5 while shooting 50% or better from the field. This is his third straight season, by the way, averaging 50% from the field. The only other player to do that is MJ. A couple of these other numbers, we know he's efficient on all parts of the floor, right? 3 points only 35%. That's his least efficient number. But from the mid-range, he's shooting the same percentage as KD. In the restricted area, he's shooting a better percentage than Jokic. At the rim, he's shooting a better percentage than Giannis. This is a guy that, once you get inside that 3-point arc, is probably the most efficient player in the NBA. That includes Nikola Jokic. And I do think part of this is team-based, right? Because the Thunder, I agree, have a better team than the Denver Nuggets, but they've also been more banged up this year, right? The big injury the Nuggets have had has been Aaron Gordon. He's missed around 15, 20 games or so. But of course, OKC, they've had Chet, who's been out damn near the whole season at this point. Hartenstein was out for a better part of, a couple of months to start off the year. Alex Caruso was banged up for a decent part of the season. So the only players to play 40 or more games with SGA this year, which is a majority of the first half of this season, right? We're about 50 or so games in, has been J-Dub, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Kenrich Williams, and Aaron Wiggins. There's some good players there, but
Nothing
I mean,
over the top.
No big man, number one, no real other ball handler, which is an issue regardless of the injuries. But when you look at the Nuggets too, like, of course, Aaron Gordon's a big piece, but they've also been mostly healthy. Jamal Murray's been mostly healthy, although hasn't been the Jamal Murray. He's been better as of recently, had a 50-point game last night. MPJ, Christian Brown has broken out in a big way, which I think Jokic deserves a ton of credit for. Russell Westbrook as well. But SGA has been doing this with still kind of a suboptimal, at least offensive team. We know how great the defense is, right? This is going to be one of the best defenses in basketball for the rest of the season. But offensively, he is a 16-point swing on and off. They go from the best offense in basketball to the worst offense in basketball, or second worst, like behind, like right with the Orlando Magic. So I do think there's a legit case for SGA to do it, even though Jokic is the best player. But I feel like year to year, if we're going to be consistent, which is all I ask for, the voters have been consistent in who has kind of been the best story, or who, like an Embiid, he's been so good for so long, here is one, over the who's just the best player, the most valuable player. So I'd be giving my MVP to SGA.
OKC has 8 more wins than the Denver Nuggets. That's a good amount of games to be a part of. So, like, SGA, for me, he's the MVP. I mean, like, Dehls, you laid a lot of the groundwork for me to have a conversation, because I really don't have to say too much, because I thought you were going to spin the other way. But the fact that you spin my way and helped me out so much is a blessing. But you look at both players, like, I agree with Dre in the sentiment of both players has been elite this year. Both players have been I think the difference in the Josh Lamar thing is SGA has the numbers. SGA has the raw statistics along with the advanced statistics.
I think Josh had him too, in my opinion.
Not in comparison
Not
to
like
Lamar,
SGA. I understand.
Yeah,
correct.
SGA in comparison to the Joker.
Definitely.
His numbers are there.
Right there.
His advanced numbers are there. Like, he has been one of the most, like, I tried to find the gap in their advanced statistics.
It's like this.
It's
it really
nothing.
is. No.
Like, it's maybe the Joker, but like a point or a point. Like, it's really insane. So I look at the story and I look at the impact of the team, of the players on the team, and you're right. OKC has been relatively banged up this year. Nothing too crazy. They still have J-Dub. They still have SGA, but both of their front court players have missed time, a chunk of time. And then on top of that, Caruso has missed some time. And SGA has been dealing with kind of an offense that's not the best 3-point shooting team. It's not the best in terms of just having multiple ball handlers that can, attack a defense or break down a defense at the top of the key. SGA has been kind of doing this in the paint at will against any type of defender, good to great to elite to trash. He's been wiggling his way to the rim, and he's been so efficient at doing it. I mean, he's having, you're looking at him, and he's having an MJ-like efficiency. It's truly insane. So I think for me, being that they're 44-9 and they've kind of walked through the whole NBA, kind of doing their things in terms of beating teams. SGA's putting them 40 ball to 50 ball, especially this year in 2025. He's been on a different type of tier. But the Joker is also in that tier. I don't mind either one of them winning it. I think voter fatigue might play a part in it. But I also think at the same time, SGA has a legit case.
Definitely.
And SGA is the new shiny toy in the block in the conversation of best player in the world. So you have him playing at this high level, and they're constantly dominating, and they walk in. If they go and they're like 12 to 14 games ahead of the second seed, ahead of the third seed.
I agree with this.
You got to give it to him because the number, he has everything you want. He has the number. He has the story. He has the record.
They could win 70 games this year.
They could. They can win a shit ton of, because, OKC is a young team that doesn't really take a day off in the regular season. Mm-hmm. They play hard to go. They play every game, even against the bum teams. You see, they go hard. They don't play.
And when they don't go hard, like the game against the Heat, they can have a quarter. They just outscore you by 30.
They had 100. I think it was at the 5-minute mark. They had 185 offensive rating in the fourth quarter, and that's with a Miami Heat team that defensively is really good. Mm-hmm. And you do that to Spo and them boys. That's crazy.
So let me ask this, because shout out to Carson. He actually put together...
Carson's tier list is funny. We'll talk about that.
So that's exactly what I want to talk about. He tiered offensive peaks. He put 22 players, and he tiered them 4 tiers. Now...
Do we want Joel to give his MVP before we move on?
He said his MVP was...
He said it first.
Okay, start.
I caught you.
That's okay.
I didn't know if he broke it down, really. Maybe he did not.
Do you have more to break down, or would you rather me talk about this?
He loves to get in the monologue, you know what I mean? I didn't know. I thought I missed that. I might have missed that.
Well, I think okay. You can say SGA is more deserving, but Jokic has been the best player in the world.
That's a fact.
If he was the 5th or 4th seed, okay, I can see it going to SGA. If the Nuggets finish with the 2nd seed, I'll even make it more difficult for them. Okay. They're the 3rd seed right now. If he finishes with the 2nd seed, I don't know why the allure of triple doubles has just died on us, because Jokic is averaging 30, 12, and 10. Mm-hmm. SGA, his efficiency is historic. Jokic's efficiency this year is better.
2nd seed sounds nice. If there's an 11-game difference, I really don't care.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. 11-game
difference is fair.
I understand what you're saying.
Denver's a half game up on the 4th seed. So if that goes all year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. You talk about SGA's historic efficiency. Jokic has better true shooting percentage numbers than SGA.
He's been a better 3-point shooter for sure.
He's been one of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
Level
him and Sabonis. Shout out.
And then you look at the point differentials on and off. Jokic is plus 23. SGA is plus 16. So Jokic beats him in that too.
Nah, Jokic is nuts. If like a 104 offense.
If SGA gets the award, I'm not gonna be mad, but I feel like there is a level of consistency they have to stick to. They could have had voter fatigue last year when Luka averaged 33, 9, and 9 and didn't win it because he played on a lower seed.
Good, bro.
Here's the thing.
This is Jokic's best season of his career.
Easily. And I'm a LeBron James fan. And I'm a guy that is very strong-worded when it comes to me thinking that he should have 19 MVPs. That's just not how the MVP works, and it's not how the NBA was working. They wanted to go and spread the wealth, and I'm not mad at that at all.
Which I'm okay with, I'll be honest.
I agree.
He didn't even have those level of seasons every year, though.
Okay, he should have won one in 2011. He should have won
2011 over Derrick Rose with all the injuries they had. He won 60 games.
100% he should have been MVP.
Who's the best player? D-Rose, come on. It's the same shit with Jokic. Jokic is a better player. LeBron's
but Derrick Rose, you could argue, had a better season that year.
And I'm going to say this with all due respect to Derrick Rose. He's a legend of the game. You could argue he's the worst MVP ever.
How many injuries did the Bulls have that year?
How many, you tell me?
It was a lot. Joakim Noah missed about 40 games. Boozer missed like 40. Luol Deng missed about 30.
He carried bums to 60 wins.
Keith Bogan was also a starter. He averaged 3 points.
Okay.
I don't know why he started, but he started. Yeah.
Okay.
It was interesting. That's why he won.
And then LeBron, there was no player more deserving in 2016 than Steph.
I agree with that. I wasn't going to say 2016.
But I'm saying in those years, all I'm saying is LeBron didn't have MVP level years all those years to win.
In 2018, he most definitely should have been MVP.
James Harden won 65 games that year and averaged 30.
You want to talk about teams?
What if he won 70 and averaged 33?
You want to talk about carrying teams?
Yeah, but Jokic averaged a triple double.
Can you name me the starting 5 for that Cavaliers team?
It was bums.
It was dog shit.
No, you're right. The Cavaliers Cavaliers team was dog shit. But
And
James
LeBron
Harden
played all 82 for the first time in his career.
When we talk about totals, LeBron had more
I'm
totals.
not talking
But on a per game basis, Harden was better.
He was better per game basis, absolutely. He played 82 games.
How many games Harden play?
He played
probably
70
played like 70.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did. It wasn't that much of a difference.
They probably had
like
they
2
had
months or
the
something.
first seed locked up, so he
the
probably
2018 Rockets,
Yeah.
one of the greatest teams to never win a championship.
Absolutely.
he played 72 games. He
the-
averaged 30 points and 9 assists that year.
LeBron averaged what, 28, 27?
Some shit like that.
LeBron did this with the Cavaliers, the 2018 Cavaliers.
bad.
It was a bad team.
bad
and
team.
2020, he got robbed MVP. If the season does not get shut down, on my mother's life, we're talking about another MVP.
27, 8 and 8.
Yeah, I mean, he's just insane.
It's like just what
It's
he
just
does.
LeBron.
Yeah.
It's just LeBron. We just gloss over that because it's LeBron.
He's doing that in 2025.
And then in 2020, that's when he was the best player in the world, and they gave it to Giannis because the season shut down. And at that point, Giannis was the MVP, so I can't be too upset.
Harden averaged more points and assists. LeBron averaged more rebounds, but Harden averaged more points and assists that year.
It's more than just points, rebounds, and assists. We know that.
How,
If they won 65 games.
valuable are you? Most valuable.
Harden was the most valuable player on that team.
We saw what happened already when you take LeBron off the Cavs. They die. We saw that. We saw that.
What happened when Harden left the Rockets? They were the worst team in the
They
league.
got really bad
That's true.
really fast.
It's very true. 100% fact.
Listen. If
So,
you,
that's all to say. Excuse me. That's
Carson's
all.
list.
It's all to say. No. That's all to say that I am in favor of Jokic, if he is the best player in the world, winning all these MVPs.
with
That's
the
how
best
to say.
season,
Yes.
with the best season,
Yeah,
that's the
agreed.
caveat with me is like, Jokic is not just the best player; he's having the best season.
No doubt.
It's not a fact.
I think it is a fact.
I don't know if it's just
It's
write
not.
it. It's
It's
done.
not set in stone, but it is, in my opinion,
Like they're not in a minimum the same tier of season.
He's averaging a triple
1A,
double.
1B. 1A,
That's
1B.
what I'm saying, bro.
1A,
Like,
1B.
I'm not saying like,
1A,
oh my
1B.
God, Jokic is
Yeah.
having the best season of all time, and SGA is like, this is like one of the top 40 game
So
seasons
when it
ever.
comes to peak, I think SGA is 26 years old. Maybe we haven't seen his offensive peak yet. He can still develop as a 3-point shooter. He can still be a better playmaker. But his ability as a 3-level scorer right now is pretty nuts. Now, he did tier them. 22 players in tier 1. He has Jokic, LeBron, Jordan, Curry, and Magic. This is no order. He just has them listed out.
Magic is interesting.
Magic is the one that sticks out to me mostly because he starts tier 2 with Shaq. And I think if you ask
you
me,
flip 'em.
I would flip the two of them.
I think that's fair.
Because Shaq was, for his position, a solid playmaker, but he was the most dominant scorer ever.
Peak is up there with
I would, and I
MJ.
think offensive peak. That's what we have to make clear because
Shaq's
I
peak's
made
up
the
there with
same
MJ.
mistake. I agree. That's also what I was going to say. When your name is associated with two guys.
Oh, that's what you're talking about when you couldn't read. I saw you
Yeah,
apply
yeah,
to him, and
yeah,
I was like,
OD,
dude,
yeah.
I was like, when
you
you say
agree
he's
with
right,
me?
I was
Yeah,
like,
You
yeah.
what
have
the
a
fuck?
problem with Magic being higher than Shaq?
Offensive peak, personally.
Me, no. I have a problem with Magic being a tier and Shaq not being.
That's
in that tier.
correct. If at minimum, I want them both in the same tier.
Yeah.
But that's what I was gonna say. When you're in a class and your name is associated with two people, you know you're doing some otherworldly stuff. If your name is associated with Wilt Chamberlain, and if your name's associated with Michael Jordan,
Turn to score.
in terms
Yeah,
of
you're doing
offense,
some stupid
you're
shit.
doing something that
It's crazy.
Nobody does.
nobody really
But
does.
is SGA doing this for the first time since Michael Jordan? Because I think Harden had a similar season when he averaged 36 and 8.
The efficiency wasn't
the
there.
efficiencies, the separation.
that's-
we
That's
we
it.
just had
It's just the 3-point shooting Harden
we had
compared to SGA's getting downhill more.
You're right, but we had a 3 to 4 year span where Harden was averaging 30 to 34,
He wasn't
36
that
a night.
efficient.
See, but if we're talking offensive package as a whole, I understand where you're coming from.
Did he have Harden on this list?
I don't know yet.
He did.
He
No,
did.
yeah, he did.
All right, so tier 2, Shaq, Larry Bird, Oscar Robertson, I'm assuming, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Steve Nash, Wilt Chamberlain, Luka, and KD.
Is it Big O?
Big O. No, yeah, he says Oscar. So
Yes.
Oscar Robertson.
Chris Paul not being in that tier, but Nash is also threw me off.
I agree with that. Also, no Kobe.
Because I guess the passing. I didn't hear Kobe yet,
never
actually.
crazy
Kobe's
efficient.
Now that I'm thinking about
Kobe's in tier 3. He has Kobe in the same tier as Shea.
it. They do compare Shea to Kobe.
They do.
All right, tier 3 is Shea,
I mean,
Kobe.
efficiency, scoring's there for SGA.
The efficiency
The
might be
efficiency
higher.
is
So this
better.
year,
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the scoring's there with SGA.
True
plus the
shooting is
efficiency.
64.3% this year. Harden's best year in his 3-year span, his best true shooting was 62.6.
which is still great.
That was 1920. I think that was the year that I think he should have won MVP when I think he averaged 36.
So he does have Shea and Harden in the same tier. He has Charles Barkley in this tier, Dirk Nowitzki in this tier, and Jerry West. In tier 4, and this is where he loses me the
Where's
most.
Kevin Garnett?
He has Giannis, CP3, and Hakeem in tier 4. If you ask me,
Where's Kevin Garnett?
I think offensive peak wise, I understand because he can handle the ball,
thinking more
playmaking.
skill.
Yeah, agreed. He's definitely skilled wise.
Yeah,
but if you look at Giannis,
yes.
how many seasons in a row have we seen him average 30 or at 28 plus? How many times have we
What
seen
was
him?
tier 3 again?
Tier 3 was Shea, Kobe, Jerry West, Dirk Nowitzki, Charles Barkley, and James Harden. Like Charles Barkley being here and Giannis not. I know Charles is a dog, and for his size, his lack of, I should say,
too.
so is Giannis.
Yeah.
I think Giannis
I guess
is a
that's
great
the name
passer.
that stuck out for you.
Correct.
Because I think everybody else was valid
Because
above.
you have Shaq in tier 2, deservedly. I think you could argue in tier 1. You have Giannis in tier 4, and the only type of dominance we've seen in the paint like Shaq since is Giannis. And then as a playmaker, you could argue Giannis is a slightly better playmaker than Shaq. It's just that the type of scoring that Shaq is doing was obviously different.
I think the difference might be just uplifting an offense. Shaq's offense is, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I think Magic Johnson the same thing. His offense is always ranked towards the very, very top of the league. Where Giannis's offenses tend to teeter. They're 12th in offense rating this year. I think in his best seasons, they were like 6th in offensive rating post 2020. So I think that's the difference. Just the uplifting an offenses. You can have the raw numbers, but is that translating to you being one of the top 3 offenses? And I think with Magic and Shaq, for the most time, they did have those type of offenses.
That's valid.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that stuck out to me. I think Jokic is definitely having one of the greatest offensive peaks ever. I mean, what he's been doing. Offense, regular, doesn't matter. I know this is strictly talking about offense, and he's not the best defensive player where we stand right now in 2025. But Lord have mercy. This is another thing. And this is something that is hard to sit with because you guys know I love LeBron with all my heart and my soul. Is Jokic just the best passer ever?
He's shit. I'm just looking right
Magic?
now.
That's
the
the
year the
only
Bucks
one.
won the chip, they were top 5 offense.
Him,
They were the fifth
LeBron,
offense.
Jokic.
Were they
It's
six?
only
Nah.
through 5. And honestly,
You could put Nash in there.
They were 3 in 2022.
Dude.
He's got a couple top
the
5.
thing that kills me
As
about
recently, they
You
kind
could
of
put
been
Chris
6 and
Paul
12.
in there.
is he better than Jokic? Is he better than Jokic?
Chris Paul at his prime as a passer?
They were
Ooh.
6 last year.
That's a guy.
No, I think Jokic is
The
better.
velocity
he can
of
see
his
more
passes.
things.
Yeah, the height.
He can see more things going on the floor. I think
being that
No,
small,
no
being
doubt,
able to
no
make
doubt.
every pass in the world.
But like the
all I'm
only
saying is
person
put Chris Paul in that tier. That's all I'm asking for. Like
I personally have it a 3-4 person tier, first tier.
what's the first tier?
Magic, LeBron, Jokic, and honestly, I hate myself for already considering putting him in there. Luka might be in that tier 1 passing.
See, now I got to put Nash in there.
Luka makes passes that I see LeBron and Jokic make.
yeah, he's just as good as those guys.
Yeah, I think Nash got to be in
I
that
just
tier.
feel like there's no way SGA can win an MVP before Luka. That's how I honestly feel.
Oh, he's sick. So there's just
So this is what this is about?
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
just,
had to know there
I
was
just
some
don't
angle.
think balance
He's
can be.
minus
Wait,
650
I just
right
don't
now,
think.
bro.
No, I love
Minus
SGA.
650.
Yeah.
It stamps.
But just the thought of
SGA
it,
fan here.
and this is no disrespect to
He's a
SGA.
Luka fan.
He's a.
It's just the thought of it.
So he's a,
Hey,
Us
hey.
knowing
Come on.
how consistently great Luka has been every single year.
Listen to him.
SGA as of recently has gotten to this level, and that's why
Absolutely.
he's taking a major leap. But it just kind of doesn't feel right if
It's
he
just
wins
the Mavs
it.
never were the 1 seed. They
before
never had the most
Luka.
overwhelming team. Although last year, my MVP, Luka Doncic.
Last year, Luka had a better season than Jokic.
I agree.
And he didn't win.
He didn't.
And this year, Jokic's having a better season than SGA. So if SGA wins, I'm just like, what?
No, you said it great one time. Life ain't fair. It ain't fair, brother.
It isn't fair.
I just don't understand it.
I think Luka
You
should
think
have
they
won
have something
MVP.
out for Luka?
They do. They definitely in Dallas. You're gonna see the new Lakers treatment that he gets, bro.
Oh no, he's gonna get glazed for
listen,
sure.
I,
But
I
Luka
don't.
got glazed in Dallas too.
No, not to this level. You're about to see a different.
I don't know,
level.
bro. The level I saw it at in Dallas.
I mean,
was
the
ground.
Lakers
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
because
be-
their
it's gonna be
fans are
glorified
die
more.
hard. They're loyal, and they are passionate. They really are.
What about Lakers fans?
Lakers fans are the same way, but they haven't had Luka long
and
enough for
except-
you guys
and
to
they have a-
we got
understand it.
mainstream media on
say
our
they have a
side.
billion
This
fans.
what I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you. We see with the Lakers, their hype machine gets people thinking Taylor Horton Tucker's a star.
And then Kuz better than Tatum.
You got
spitting.
listen. They got a crazy media machine. What Luka right now has just played 2 games and they haven't been the best because he's rusty. He's coming back from the biggest injury he's ever came back from in a season.
yesterday
So
was
don't
dog
worry about it just yet.
So bad.
But once he starts,
worry about it just yet.
once he starts getting into rhythm and he starts giving Lakers those
gonna be
moments,
scary.
you're about to see the type of glazing that the mainstream media is about to give him.
It's about to be
because
generational.
Dallas fans were defending Luka, but Luka
Should we predict some of the glazing? What are they going to
Every
say?
national media outlet always had false narratives for Luka.
He's the best Laker point guard of all time.
Oh, yeah, he's like after the first season, he's already a top 3 Laker. He's already a better Laker than LeBron ever was.
Like this is a false narrative that I feel like applied to Luka and James Harden. And I never understood why. Luka and James Harden, they average all these points, but they're still elite level passers and playmakers. They get labeled as ball hogs and as guys guys who are selfish when they're one of the most unselfish players to play with in the league. The type of shots they generate for their teammates. I remember James Harden. That's the thing he was knocked for. Luka, that's the thing that they're knocking him for in the NBA Finals. You have Brian Windhorst talk about how lousy his effort was and all that. And I think some of that criticism was warranted. But for the most part, they tend to criticize Luka more than they tend to praise him. And there's more moments to praise him than to criticize him.
The only way, in my humble opinion, and I'm saying this as a guy who is rooting for nothing but the best for Luka Doncic, the only way to play like Luka and Harden and win a championship is if you were the athlete like LeBron James. LeBron James had their similar style of play. Maybe not as efficient, I don't know, James Harden, his bag, whatever you want to say. The reason why LeBron was able to win multiple times is because he's a one-of-one athlete. And he can give that energy both on the offense and defensive side.
100%.
The similarities between Luka and Harden is that the defense isn't always there. And that is being generous.
And you're talking about the play style. Even with that play style, LeBron went 3-6 in the finals.
4-6.
So it's not like, okay, 4-6, sorry. So it's not even like it's like a high success rate. You know, the odds are against you.
But using the Brady argument, I mean, other dudes are getting bounced. James Harden got bounced every single time.
That's because he faced the Warriors. I mean,
he lost to the Spurs.
Okay.
He lost to Portland.
But let's talk about his prime. His prime.
Don't you dare.
Okay, I understand. That's young Harden.
Don't you dare get me in my bag.
That's young Harden.
Can I ask you a question? How many finals have you seen in your life?
From
any
who?
team. Combine them.
In the NBA?
Combine them.
Probably the Mavericks. That's not my team.
No, it's fine.
But from Luka.
It's fine. No, bro, I'm allowing this. So take the Mavericks.
2012 OKC.
Okay. All right, throw them in there too.
Yeah.
You were a Harden guy then?
Bro, you were a Harden guy. Hold on. We're fine. All right, here we go. So you got the Mavericks and you got James Harden. What's your record?
I haven't won yet.
Oh,
I haven't won yet.
So 0-2. I think I'd much rather go 4-6 than that 0-2
I'm
dog
just
shit.
piggybacking off your point. You talking about the play style. That's all I said.
I don't fucking
He's
take that
attacking
shit
me.
lightly.
No, and I want to talk about prime James Harden because you can talk about that young James Harden. I know they lost to Portland and all that. Prime James Harden.
He never made the finals. Yeah.
And what about the Spurs?
Okay, that's because they played the Warriors. The prime Warriors, the juggernaut Avengers Warriors. James Harden.
The ones without him.
What about the Rockets coming back without
one game
him?
and a quarter.
Hey.
What they played him twice before Kevin Durant got there.
No, I know. That was when James Harden didn't have
James
good
Harden
teams,
has never beat Steph Curry in the playoffs.
But I'm saying
James Harden has never beat Steph Curry in the playoffs.
James Harden's best teams came when KD was on the Warriors. He won more games against them than LeBron won against them.
When he had an opportunity to go with Embiid to the ECF.
He did his job. He won 2 games.
Oh my god, that statement fucking stinks.
We're just gonna ignore
he
Game
won
7.
more games than LeBron did, brother. Yeah. Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood, Matthew Dellavedova.
Not that first year. Not that first year.
2018.
No, that first year. That first year was Kyrie and K-Love.
Yes, they did.
And they lost in 5.
They lost in 5.
That was a good team. It's not. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't compared to Warriors. The Rockets
cool.
took them to 7, and they only lost because the referees cheated and rigged it.
Oh my
That's
God.
why. Look at those calls from that series. You talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and all this backlash. Where was that for the Warriors back then? That's all I'm saying.
That's for your favorite player. They did that for your favorite player. He had no rings.
He's not my favorite player.
You know what? He does have 2 chips. He does. He does.
He doesn't
KD.
even count. He hated the Warriors.
Imagine having the KD chips.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Man, I don't count those. We all know they should have won in 2021.
Who?
The Nets.
The biggest what if.
Lost in second round.
0-6. Don't get
The
me
biggest
started.
what if that would have restored balance to the basketball world.
What
Harden
if?
ring, that would
They
have
would
been
What
start
if Kevin
Harden,
Durant?
KD, and Kyrie ring without LeBron? Yes.
Can you ask me a question?
would've still had
Can
to
you
win the
answer me this?
finals.
What did James Harden shoot in that game?
Oh, it's another moment.
He went, I think, 2 for 11.
Grade 2 hamstring.
How many of those were wide open?
All of them. Shit.
Nah, not all of them.
Damn near.
Talk about Joe Harris thinking up the bank.
Joe Harris. Oh my
But
god.
what are the expectations?
That's some shit, dude. It's Joe Harris. Like, respectfully.
No, but you don't expect him to light the world on fire. You expect him to make a 3 or 2.
No, I agree. But I also expect James Harden, regardless of status of
was very
injury.
hurt.
Okay, you're wide open. You're a Hall of Famer.
That's
First
like
ballot.
that's like the Celtics losing the Cavs, bro. Drew Holiday was fucking missing his shots.
The
bro.
biggest thing
You
is
would
your
laugh in my
your
face.
legs is shooting. The biggest thing is your. What do you think about Tatum being this number 1 seed for so many years, not getting any MVP recognition, but the year that SGA is number 1 seed, we're gonna give it to him over Jokic,
SGA's
even if
having
Jokic has a better
SGA
year.
is clearly having
I
a
think
better season
SGA is
than
having a
Tatum.
better season than Tatum ever has.
So
Oh
SGA
my-
is better than
we're
Tatum.
here. Yes.
I have SGA over Tatum, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've won.
Yeah, for sure.
No diggity.
We won.
For sure.
We
Where's your
won.
pride?
Look at this.
We won.
Where's your
SGA's
pride?
been over Tatum for, most of the, the last 2 months, probably.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
Last
I thought you
2
were saying last
months.
year. I
He's
thought
been
so
over
fit.
him since the start of the season.
Nah.
He's been over him since the start of the playoffs last
Last
year.
year.
Nah. SGA's having an all-time season. Like, I love Tatum to death. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's had a season close to this.
Tatum's
respectfully. Huh? Oh, you know what's crazy? I watched the Spurs and Celtics last night.
Okay.
It was fucking clear as day who the best player was.
Yeah, it's bad. It was
Yeah,
bad.
you have been quiet on your Wemby talks, man.
Well, the offense hasn't been as consistent as I would like personally.
and
That's
Spurs
what
are
happens
like
with
the
a young
12th seed.
player.
Say that one more time.
Spurs are the 12th seed. When are they going to decide to make this push you guys
Kinda
told
like-
me
But
about?
Okay,
SGA and Tatum are in the same tier. Let's not get shit
when he was
twisted.
first team.
Let's
Calm
not get
down.
shit twisted. SGA and Tatum are in the same tier.
You guys
still.
told me
He's here.
they
He's
were
gonna win the
you
DUI.
told me they was going to make the playoffs.
I didn't
Play
say
in.
all that.
Oh, that was you.
The Knicks really had Wemby
I'm missing.
before Wemby.
Talk.
They really had
Porzingis?
KP.
Now Porzingis had him in hell.
They
I
played
won't
last
lie.
night. KP
Yeah.
had like
Porzingis-
29.
He did
You guys,
27.
they had
something like
Harrison
that.
Barnes guarding
Was it
Porzingis.
29?
So it was really weird. Very
Now,
odd
when we
shit.
traded Porzingis, that was one of the worst moments for me, man. It sucked. I thought he was gonna be a franchise player.
I like Luka now.
I've
So.
been loving him.
Yo, my Luka jersey comes in tomorrow.
Nice.
dude.
I thought KP was gonna go to
Can't wait
Dallas
till
and win the
Valentine's
chip. Honestly, the Luka and Porzingis, people don't talk about how deadly of a duo that sounded when the trade first
I
happened.
watched it happen in that
Luka
first
You
round.
know what's
and
more
2020.
deadly?
KP.
It's Tatum and KP.
He's
It's JB and KP, honestly. They were cooking. JB's been out the last week or so.
Yeah. When he has the pressure of like the 5th best player on the team,
It's nice.
Now you're gonna take shots at KP?
Yes.
Fifth
What's
best
wrong
is
with
nuts.
you?
I
He's
said,
no
I
more
like
than
the Celtics.
Okay.
Oh,
It
fourth.
makes me
Derek White
sick.
has some nice. Derek White definitely has
What's
some
wrong
nice.
with the Celtics other
Because
than Joel likes them?
because no, nothing's wrong. No, actually, I've never really been a big fan of the Celtics.
I don't expect anybody to be a fan of the Celtics.
I
now,
was
Celtics
for
fan.
a moment when Isaiah Thomas was on there. They were very
that.
likable.
Yeah.
I really loved them, and I think
And then what
to a big degree they still are likable because they're a young team that grew together. But
They're like an underdog story then.
it's just
When you guys lost by
My
60 to us in
problem-
the ECF?
Tatum.
yes.
Yeah.
I was praying they beat LeBron.
Tough look.
That was so crazy. That was rookie JB. We really beat
Yeah,
you up by
yeah,
like
yeah.
60 points.
Almost got our luck back the next year.
Yeah, and then
Almost did.
enter LeBron.
Yeah,
they
if
scored-
Kyrie played,
yeah.
they would have won that series pretty easily. Or Gordon Hayward.
I don't know.
honestly.
You saw what happened the next year after that.
They
And
didn't have no
Tatum kind of fell
chemistry.
off.
They had he was terrible in that series.
Which one?
The first series versus,
Against the
second
Bucks.
series
Oh,
versus
against the
Milwaukee.
Bucks.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That,
all
I mean,
were.
that whole team, the vibe was just
Yeah, they all
fucked.
were.
I just feel like when the Celtics won, it was like, oh, KP was able to win with Tatum, but not with Luka. It's like, okay, you look at the goddamn team
He
around
played like
him.
fucking 5 quarters last year, bro. He was.
He was like, look at KP. Yeah, he wasn't doing this in Dallas.
He dead
It's like,
wasn't.
come
I'll
on,
be back next
because the
summer if
team
you
wasn't
have
the
me.
same. No, but I don't know. You guys see those images with the Mavericks when they have Luka Brunson and Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
I feel like future basketball fans are gonna look at that picture and say, "Damn, what could have been." But it didn't feel like how it feels now in the moment.
No,
It was
'cause
very different.
Because I mean, obviously, like Luka was great then. He's not the Luka he was now. Brunson, of course, isn't the player he is now. And KP, all of them were just all super young.
No, they sold.
They sure won.
No, they sold. You have Luka Doncic, you had Jalen Brunson, KP. You couldn't keep them all
wanna
together.
sip?
No, that's on y'all.
It's tough. KP injured. Brunson, that was a mess
You
up,
can
man. Should
take
have
some.
resigned him.
No, that's a generational fuck up on the Mavericks part. You
tea
can't
in there,
convince me
bro? What you
otherwise.
Nah, bro, I want it. Like, I
What
want
does
the
this
whole
say?
thing.
He wanted a water.
You're donut. What's that?
It's tea.
It's tea. That cup is from a donut shop in El Salvador.
Oh, nice. What's your favorite donut to get there?
I don't really eat donuts.
Do you
I
eat
love
donuts the long way?
bro. I love donuts.
He said, yeah.
I don't eat donuts.
They have a
You
Boston
ate the
cream
that
there?
I like
one time?
munchkins.
They have a Boston cream. Is that just an American thing? I don't know.
No, they definitely have Boston cream.
Remember when you 3-bited a munchkin?
Nice and steady, nice and slow, nice and slow.
I love a glazed, strawberry frosted, Boston cream. I love jelly.
There's none like taking a bite and something and cream just come on.
Yeah,
Dude.
man.
It's delicious.
Masterclass. I just love chocolate.
You like chocolate frosted?
No, just chocolate.
Or just chocolate donut?
Yeah,
Are you a fan of things that are cream filled?
For sure. I love cream in my mouth.
Type
Who
shit.
doesn't?
Like it when it, you.
But you know what I don't like
that
that hot. I don't like cannolis, man.
Dude, neither do I.
Cannolis are really good.
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't like cannolis.
Don't know what it is.
Apparently, it's made with ricotta cheese.
Yeah, it's like a dessert pastry kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a pastry. It's like shaped like this, and then there's cream inside of it.
Bro. Show me.
There's cream inside of it.
It's Italian dessert.
Basically,
Yeah,
dessert
facts.
penis. I wish I was
Like
lying.
these.
I can't see it. Look.
Oh my bad.
Nah, I've never seen one.
Really?
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah, I've
they
never
are
seen
good.
One. What's in it?
Chocolate, cannoli cream. I'm not just saying that. Like, it's a specific type of
that's
cream.
what it's called.
cannoli
okay.
cream.
Have you guys tried Dubai chocolate?
Nah.
I've seen it.
What's that?
With
Dubai
that-
chocolate is basically just think of a chocolate bar, but it's stuffed in the inside with kind of like a pistachio filling.
You've had it?
Yes,
Really?
it's delicious.
It looks it.
Pistachio.
Yeah.
I don't really like
It's
pistachio.
Yo, really? Damn, that's a mess. That's a full.
It's like
You never had
pistachio filling.
ice cream?
I don't think so.
Damn.
Maybe I like because it's ice cream.
You
but it's
might like
straight
the Dubai
pistachios.
chocolate. It's really good, and the pistachio filling has these kind of like this kind of like texture. It's like a certain type of filling where think of like little wooden sticks, and that's how it looks like. Think of like I'm trying to describe this the best way possible. Think of like mini wheats if you were to like chop it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that type of texture inside the chocolate bar with
Okay.
the
What about
pistachio
a Kit
filling.
Kat? Similar to Kit
Is it
Kat
like a
or no?
crunch type vibe?
It's like a crunch. Yes.
Okay.
It's like a crunch type vibe. It's really good. It's kind of expensive though.
Where'd you get it?
$30?
You can get it at the mall. Yeah, I think like one bar might be like I bought a bar for like $8. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Yeah, it takes a lot to make it. The ingredients are not that easy to find.
not cheap. $8 for candy. Excuse me. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's really good though. Like it is
Dude, it's
fantastic.
a damn shame Hannah Krause closed.
What is that?
It's right by the GSP.
I don't even know what you just said, to be honest with
It
you.
was it's like a Hannah Krause. It was like a chocolate dessert shop, but they had the best chocolate covered strawberries. I've been
Really?
getting it for Valentine's Day for years. They closed like last summer though, so I got some for because I always get it for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So I got some from Stu Leonard yesterday after my haircut. Hopefully they're as good, but those were the best chocolate covered strawberries I ever had, bro.
Dude, did you get flowers ready for Valentine's Day?
I'm picking them up tomorrow. I ordered
Whole
them.
Foods?
Nah, some just like florist shop.
You're folding.
Cause I don't know. The last time I went to Whole Foods, like I said, there was nothing there.
Ah, true. We did have this
But
conversation.
honestly, it just like I went on a random fucking day. I'm sure they had a ton for Valentine's. They had a bunch of Stu Leonard too, if you need.
Still an odd. Okay.
Yeah, I probably gotta go do that, man.
I went
What
and
are
got
your
my
plans
card
for
today.
tomorrow, actually?
I'm going to an arcade.
Oh, it's up.
Oh,
Jersey City?
nice.
I'm going to one in Paramus.
Humdingers?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, word.
I'm going to
That
an
was actually
arcade.
like the second date Chelsea and I went
Yeah,
to.
and then I'm gonna
Humdingers
get
is
some
cool.
dinner. So that's what I'm gonna do.
You said you're
W.
gonna make dinner?
Get dinner.
Oh,
Are you guys going to hit the batting cages?
Probably, yeah. Do they have them at
they do.
Humdingers?
They do.
Please
They do.
record
Then I
yourself.
will. Yeah.
I would love to see
I
that.
got you.
Where do you think you can get dinner from?
Maybe
Like takeout or
Segovia's.
Oh my God, you're
Segovia's is tough,
spazzing.
Yeah. Segovia's. Segovia is like her and my place. We like.
You made
it
a
lot.
reservation?
I got to. I
Dude.
haven't. I might not get that shit. I'm gonna be
cooked.
honest.
Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Bruh, I'll be bugging.
Me and Al literally made our reservation for dinner last week.
Yeah.
They have two Segovias. If not, maybe try El Cid. El Cid's like a similar type vibe.
It is similar.
But yeah,
Or Outback.
I'll be honest, you should
Do you
pause
guys
and
get
call
gifts
now.
for Valentine's Day, or you just get the flowers?
Because me, Alexandra, it's my birthday, Christmas, our anniversary, Valentine's Day, her birthday. Valentine's Day is like a straight up, here's flowers, we're going out to dinner.
Because it's my anniversary and Valentine's Day.
All right, bro, you have to spaz.
Yeah, I gotta get a gift. man.
He's
He's
an
done.
idiot, bro.
When's your anniversary? Is it the 14th? Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
Yeah.
You have
How long?
nothing.
Is, what, it's like
Nah. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I haven't put much thought into it, but I
she
could.
get
If
something for you, bro?
I don't know. If she did, I'm gonna feel like shit. So I definitely gotta get something.
crazy.
Get
just
her a
in
necklace.
case.
You're welcome.
Go to
Yeah,
Pandora.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Oh my, Pandora has saved my ass so many times.
Nice little calm. I really loved you. And I thought about this.
Yeah.
one. I just,
I got this charm of a sun because you're my sunshine. Also because you like the Phoenix Suns. You're welcome.
Oh, that's
He just
great.
cooked.
That's fitting.
He just
It's
cooked.
fitting,
just
it's
write that
fitting.
down. 'cause I
Yeah, you
forgot
gotta make something
everything
happen,
you
bro.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I'll make something.
She's not watching this part of the pod, bro.
Nah,
We're
nah,
valid.
nah.
Imagine
I'll
if
make
the
something
ladies
happen.
just go back
I'm
and
saying
decide, you know what? Let me watch
I'm a
If
clutch
Al,
it.
if Al just decided to watch one random episode, there's times where I'm shit talking.
That's a great idea, though. I wish I got it. Now I can't use it.
Why?
Just because what if I do it, then in the future, like, what if she stumbles on this clip and then she's like, oh, it wasn't your idea?
Dude,
Be
who
like,
cares?
"Damn."
A good idea is a good idea.
Brother.
Personally,
You're right.
Personally,
But still.
Listen to the guys, man.
Personally.
Can't give you nothing.
Rim is out of this conversation.
I feel like even if it doesn't come from your brain, like oh, you know what? That's a great idea.
He followed through on a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great guy right there.
Nah, no cap. I gotta be clutch with this, but yeah, the arcade should be fun. I think they got bowling too and like mini golfing.
I think so. They got a whole bunch of stuff.
All that shit. I don't think that the arcade will be too full on Valentine's Day.
They got an axe throwing place right next to it too. If that interests you.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's definitely tough.
Get violent on Valentine's Day? That's your energy?
Shit, it could be. Humdinger's too busy, maybe something.
Shit,
It's
too.
also you could bring drinks into that axe throwing place,
You should have took my idea.
which is kind of crazy.
Which was?
Oh no, God.
My idea was wavy. Yep,
Your idea was sick.
sexy. It was
He
sexy.
needs help.
Yo,
Are you
I don't
starting to
know why, but
remember
as of
or no?
recently,
Some clue.
I remember bits and pieces. I
Okay.
remember enough to not ask.
as of recently, I've been getting a nosebleed in my right nose consistently. Every time I take a shower, as soon as I get out, I'll be waiting to get out because I already know my nose is gonna start leaking.
Bro, that shit happens to me. It's a change of season.
Yeah, they I think it's just the weather, it being
Yeah.
dry and stuff. So that's
Thank God it
been
hasn't
messing
happened to
up.
me this year. It's the only year of God knows how many
Nosebleeds
years.
are scary, man.
Bro, I'd be gushing. I have pictures of the blood clots afterward.
Oh, dude.
Yo,
I'll be honest, not good. I don't think I've ever had a nosebleed in my life.
never?
Like maybe once when I was like a fucking kid, bro.
I'm gonna
but-
be honest. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I've definitely had upwards of 50.
Really? Damn.
I almost said
really-
100, but decided to be safe with
Think
50.
like maybe
Nah,
5.
she not gonna listen to this part of the podcast, but I was chilling at the Airbnb. It was the last day we was in Arizona, and Jess was just laying on me. We was watching the movie and shit, and she just starts leaking, bro, because the nosebleed got her there.
Oh shit, it happens to her too.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it happened to her too, and she just starts leaking. I look at my chest and I
Like,
just see blood. I'm
oh.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There's times where I'll feel it like it feels like a runny nose almost. And I'll be chilling. I'm laying in bed and I feel it, that type of sensation. And I get up. I'm like, I'm bad having nosebleed.
It's the most weird feeling.
It is bizarre. It's bizarre.
Yeah. It's
But
just
I've
like a
gotten them so
tingle in your
often
nose.
high key. It really just feels like something's about to fall out. And then it just starts pouring.
That's nuts.
Dude, I was driving once home from school and I had to pull over because I was bleeding so
causes
much.
that?
Bro, it's just the air. It just be mad dry and it dries up your sinus and you just start to pour out of your nose.
That's insane. Yeah,
It's
no, I haven't
terrible.
really ever experienced that in my life.
Me either.
You know what I like though? I like when I stop the nosebleed and when you take that piece of tissue out of your nose, there's just like a big glob.
Bro, that's what I'm talking about, the blood clot.
And it
Bro,
just
I've
it looks
taken pictures of like
it feels
this
pretty
size
cool.
blood clot out of my nose.
It
That's
feels
disgusting,
mushy.
bro.
It feels mushy, gooey.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's easily the best part of having a
And
nose.
you're just like, wow, I really produced that.
I wish you guys had a nosebleed to
Y'all are
understand
crazy,
where
man.
he's coming from. It's easily the best part. One, your nosebleed's over when
Is
you
there
get
any
that
other
blood
good
clot.
part about having a nosebleed?
No.
Okay.
No. But when you go and you fucking take that giant glob out of your nose and you look at it, you're just fascinated. How did my body do this? The bigger the blood clot, the worse the nosebleed. If you have a giant
You've had some
blood
nasty
clot,
shit.
bro.
Yeah. I'm straight up that. We can move on.
Dehls, his stomach is like, I can't take this. Midseason contenders and pretenders. So I have the top teams in the NBA here from a seeding perspective. We can start off with the East. Contenders or pretenders, the Celtics.
Come on.
Contenders. They're the favorites. They've been playing 7-1 to close the season.
Ever since Dehls tweeted, repeat off, season's done, it's tanked.
I'll be honest, it took them like fucking 2 weeks after that still.
You think I don't have that tweet bookmarked? You out of your damn mind.
Dude, that tweet's not there. Oh shit! I never delete tweets, especially about like just takes. I never delete tweets. I'm like, but now I'm tweeting, bro. But they were dead playing. They were playing. They were playing the Clippers. The Clippers didn't have Harden, didn't have Powell, didn't have Zoo. Motherfuckers went into overtime, bro. That game blew mine.
Bro, deleted it.
That's just not.
But no, I mean, because they did, like, jokes aside, they did go on like a month and a half stretch where they were playing like 500 basketball.
Yeah.
And they were just fucking mid and they were losing to the Raptors and going to overtime against the fucking Clippers without their top 5 players. But these last 8 games have been really good. I think they should be the favorites.
You know what's the difference? Derek White figured out that he's good at
back.
basketball again.
Yep, he's
and he's
back.
back.
He's not better than Darius Garland.
No. Hey, well done.
Yeah, give me Derek.
Well done. You got it right now. DG's up.
Give me Derek.
DG stock's
and
up.
the Cavaliers are up because they're contenders too.
Yo, but don't let him switch. Don't let him switch
what?
on this DG Derek White shit. All right, he's being grimy right now. I'm being honorable. I'm being respectful. He's not. Let's keep that 100. He's not.
He's better than Tyrese Halliburton.
When have I never been on the
Don't
DG
make
train?
me pull to live. I'll waste our time right
What
now.
live?
Waste our time. I want to hear it.
All right, done. When the Cavaliers and the Celtics played when we were coming off playback and we talked about it, you're like, I'm taking Derek White. Don't play me.
After a game like that, absolutely.
I remember that.
Don't play me.
I remember that.
After a game like that, absolutely, Riv. He wasn't that.
No,
good.
was on
DG was
shit.
dog shit.
That was the first game, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
early in the
I
season.
remember,
When
oh my! And after that, DG started.
he just literally has been their best player, arguably.
Hey, you're sick. You're sick.
What can I say? He's just better.
I'll take Derek White every day of the week, man.
I respect
DG's been better this season, no doubt.
that.
There's nothing I can
outside
say.
of last year, he's been better his whole life. But
Derek
He
White's
has
having
been
a
better
similar year
most
to
of
last
his
year.
life. Even
Just
dating
DG
back to
shit.
high school. He was a better high school player
Derek
too.
White just had a month. He was just bad.
Oh, nah, they were bad.
Since too
But I
early.
think the Cavaliers are legitimate contenders.
They are contenders. They're the second best team in the East to me.
What?
Like they're the number one seed. To me, they're second best team.
No,
What's
this
wrong
year
with
they're the
that?
best team,
in
they're
the
number one
league to
seed.
me.
They're 2-1
Who's the best team in the West? OKC or Denver?
Ooh, that's close.
I'm so-
Hold on, bro. I got him. 2018, who was the 1 seed? The Rockets?
Yes.
Okay, number 2 was the Warriors. Who's the best team?
Chris Paul got hurt.
Who's the best team?
Chris Paul got hurt.
Before that,
who's the best
When
team?
Chris Paul's healthy, it was the Rockets.
Who was
I'm
the
not
best
gonna lie.
team?
Right
You
now,
hear
I
me
would
dead
take
ass?
Denver
The Rockets.
over OKC.
When Chris Paul was
in a
healthy, they was
playoff
about to beat
series.
them.
I think I would take Denver over OKC in a playoff
Really?
series. I think I
Okay.
would.
So-
I think I would.
So collectively, we're back on Denver.
Yeah,
yeah, never left.
Is Denver back?
Kind of.
they're back.
They are. I mean, they're
did
playing great.
did they ever leave?
You're in on them again?
I think they could. I think they go
You
to the
have
finals.
to be
yeah.
in on them so long as Nikola Jokic is alive and breathing.
We're not all back. You guys are back
I definitely think they could win
do you
win the West.
on Denver.
You're done with them?
I'm not.
We'll
done,
talk to
but
Denver.
We'll
get them
talk
though.
about Denver, but
Cleveland.
the
I'm all in on
Cavaliers.
OKC.
I mean, are they
Agree.
not the best team in the East right now, Riv? They are.
The Cavs, to me,
Yeah,
in my opinion,
without a
fuck
doubt.
yeah. Number one team in the East.
Celtics have more wins against 500 teams than them for sure.
What's the record?
I have to check.
Are you punched?
Huh?
Are you punched?
But
100%.
it's because teams under 500, bro. They maybe have lost one game.
Who?
The Cavs.
Oh yeah, no, we punch when we need to punch. We beat some good teams though. We beat OKC.
No, for sure.
Beat Boston.
The Knicks?
Beat
Beat
the
them
Knicks.
once. You've only played them once.
We beat Milwaukee twice.
Okay, I capped. They have one more win than us against teams over 500.
You're a
But
fucking liar.
they have four more wins against teams below 500.
What's worse than a Celtics fan?
A fucking liar.
one game?
It's not honorable.
Not only did you lie, you lied bad. Like,
One game, bro.
well, we were up. We
Because
were
you
up by
got
like 20.
Who'd y'all play last? Oh, no, you played Toronto, right?
Yeah, we played
Never mind,
Toronto.
never mind. I was gonna say
We
you had
smoked
fun.
the shit out of Toronto.
Especially with DeAndre Hunter in town.
Yep. We beat some teams,
There's a
man.
reason why I took their future.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
Yeah,
man. You
that's-
put a lot of
that's the
money.
L.
That was. I hope you're right, because
I
I'm
will
not
be.
trying to see someone lose.
I think if they're healthy, they're gonna.
$100 was crazy.
This guy's nuts.
I would put like 30. You threw 100 on
DeAndre
that.
Hunter.
What's that? 7-game series, 6-game series? Like,
They could go to 7.
Okay.
Well, probably will go to
So in
7.
a 7-game series,
you know what
you're
7 is
choosing
at, right?
against the guy who has
7
50 in a
is
game
included.
7.
This is
Yeah.
why, Drew. This is why the number one seed is so important. You get game 7 in your home court. You got the fans there, everybody there. Vibe.
Here's the thing: the Celtics on the road,
Great team.
they've been elite.
Great team.
They've been elite.
Great
I
team.
will say the Cavaliers are contenders. How can they not be?
Okay, are these the only 2 contenders in the East?
Yes.
yes.
Gotta respect Milwaukee.
Drew. Cleveland
I'm
is
not here,
25 and
Milwaukee.
4 at home.
They're. Oh wow.
Celtics are 22-6 away.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts.
Cute.
Whoa.
More losses, less wins.
It's on the road.
Oh.
Their road. What's their road record?
We're 1 seed. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's probably great. I mean, they have like 9 losses.
19 to
10
6.
losses.
Oh.
And we're-
Celtics are not that at home.
Yeah, we're number 1 seed.
No, that's
Doesn't matter.
19-6 on the road.
On the road. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
What is your road record?
Oh my
No,
god.
well, I was doing the opposite.
Home-
Because like if
they're
they had
home
to come to
seven-
us at home, it's not good.
Their home is 17 and 10.
Yeah. But don't let us get to last year's
On the
home
road,
team.
22 and 6.
That's what I just said.
Look at that.
22-6 is fucking nuts.
Cavs are 19 and 6. They just got to play 3 more games, which they will probably win.
The 3-game difference on the road.
You're losing at least one.
That's what I was saying.
They might win all 3 though.
What if they don't?
They might. They've been doing it all year.
But what if Boston gets back to the home team they were last season? Then it's GG's.
Well, you have Game 7 in Cleveland. Doesn't matter.
Unless we catch you.
Game 7 in Believeland. That's a tough one.
Listen, Game
Yo.
7, give me Tatum.
Aren't you guys undefeated? Game 7 at home.
He's spitting. We don't lose.
You guys are
Because
crazy.
that man
Nah,
never
he's
lost.
real. Nah, he's nah.
The Cavaliers are doing this, and Donovan Mitchell isn't even Donovan
looks.
Mitchell yet.
Nah. Will he be Donovan Mitchell?
Yes, he will.
In the playoffs, he would have
coasting.
to be.
He's not Anthony Edwards, but
He's scaring me.
He's coasting.
Now, I think in the playoffs,
He's
he'll
been
kick
their
up.
third best player. Like, I'm pretty confident in saying that.
That's good. You want him for the
That's
playoffs. Because he's not, bro, he's just not 35
He's
the other
Donovan
day.
Mitchell, though.
You don't need him to score 28 a season.
I'm not asking him to have 28. I'm asking him to give me 25.
He's 23 in elite efficiency.
Is it elite efficiency?
Yeah, I think he's like 45, 40, 88.
Is it 40?
Yeah, I think it's 40.
Am I
It's probably
sleeping?
Like 39. I think, but I remember it being 41% like 2 weeks ago. So if it drops,
I
outside
just
of
know
those two
DG's been.
teams,
All right.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say. I will respect Milwaukee because Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard is back. He's back to playing really great basketball. That's where I still have to respect him, especially in a series, in a playoff series.
39.1.
30. Well, it's still great.
still great.
It's still amazing.
but they just made a good addition too to their team, who was a former champion.
Stop.
He's
I
a
don't
former
care.
champion.
It's not moving.
We saw his last couple games. Kyle Kuzma.
I mean, shit, bro. They beat the Timberwolves without Dame.
Yeah.
They did.
That was nuts. Ant could have hit a game winner shot.
Okay,
Step back three.
He's played well.
Tough.
He's played well.
Who?
Kuz?
His first game was dog shit.
Doc Rivers gets the best out of his players.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm praying on his downfall.
Kuzma?
Yeah.
You just
Well,
don't like
if you
Kuzma?
want Milwaukee, though.
I don't know, man. I just think that I watched him play meaningless basketball in Washington and kind of not care about his career for a little
Let's
while.
be honest. You didn't watch.
I don't think
Why would
Milwaukee.
you?
Yeah.
Why would
Do
you?
you think Milwaukee could get past Cleveland or Boston? Like I think they get bounced in the second round.
Absolutely not.
Maybe the first.
I think that series versus Boston would actually be good though.
The Cavaliers have the perfect defense for Giannis.
What if
That's
they
why
play
I
the Knicks
said
in the
Cat.
first round?
I think that the Milwaukee Bucks could
But the
beat them.
Cavs don't got a point of attack defender to guard Dame.
They don't.
They don't, but at the same time, I'm with Joel. That's why I said Celtics over the Cavaliers because that Mobley-Jarrett combination stops their best player. You guys don't have an answer for Giannis.
Yeah.
But
Al Horford does the
you
job.
do have
man.
an answer for Dame.
Al Horford has done a job.
The answer is fuck.
You do have an answer for Dame.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are good, but I wouldn't call them contenders. I don't like their lack of athleticism. I do think Kyle Kuzma is a good rebounder, so maybe he could be vital for them in those small ball lineups. But at the same time, like the way the Cavs are shooting the ball,
True.
the way they can destroy you in the pick and roll, get a switch, and then hit shooters in the corner, the way Mobley's playing right now, that Cleveland team is tough.
Torian Prince has been playing good ball too. And honestly, I got to give it to
Darvin Ham.
Assistant coach of the year.
sort of, kind of. But Doc has gotten the best out of these boys. And we've been, I shit talk Doc a lot, especially this offseason. He hasn't been bad this year.
Mr. Doc Rivers. In the West, are there only 2 contenders or are there more?
I think you have to respect Los Angeles so long as Luka Doncic and LeBron James exist.
Do you agree with that?
I saw those Alex Len minutes and I think I disagree now.
Bro, why did you even think about Alex Len being positive?
Well, it's just a
You just
body
need
out
somebody,
there.
yeah.
I have a tier list
What's your tier list?
Okay.
for the West.
Okay.
This is how I would group it. OKC, Denver, Lakers, tier 1.
You think they're in the same tier?
Yeah, but I would take OKC and Denver over the Lakers. Tier 2, these are like the teams that could have fun, but there's a lot of questions. Memphis, Clippers.
We'll call this tier the could have fun.
They could win
Could
a
have
first round
fun.
series, maybe.
Fuck with that.
Yes. Memphis, Clippers, Minnesota.
That's basically someone has to win the 4-5 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Or
That's what that is.
they could just have fun. Like they could just
They're
upset
giving me
a first
like
rounder.
this tier is giving me Pacer vibe.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Yes.
No? Yeah,
Yes.
Pacers last year.
I want to say
Pacers made the ECF. I don't think none of these teams.
Let me ask you something.
WCF.
The Mavericks,
like because if Memphis played Minnesota today,
Maybe.
they're in the second round. Like one
Kawhi's
either
healthy,
team.
but we've said if Kawhi's healthy my whole
the
life.
Mavericks are in a bad position right now. I would say just because of their
I would
injuries.
put them in tier 2 though.
But if
He's gonna
in a month Anthony Davis gets healthy, they get their lineup back. With the way Kyrie Irving is playing, with the way AD could play, is that not a tier above those Memphis teams?
I would say they would be the top of tier 2 for me.
I would
with
put them
that.
in tier 1 also. I think they are.
You put them in
one,
tier
too.
1.
If you have a healthy AD, if PJ's healthy, if Gafford and Lively are healthy, this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
We are admitting, but they have so much talent on this team.
I don't think they can win a title. That's why I wouldn't put them in
Let
tier
me ask
1.
you. Let me just ask you this hypothetical.
I don't hate it.
In a playoff series, Lakers versus Mavericks, both fully healthy. Who wins that series? This season.
I think Luka's too motivated to lose that.
The difference is at the end of fourth quarters, I think I trust LeBron and Luka.
It's fair. Yeah.
But Dallas is a better team.
Jackson Hayes is going to have nightmares over what Anthony Davis is going to do.
They match up like they're just opposites of each other. You got two huge wings that are going to hit shot after shot, can get downhill, can hit the three, and then the Mavericks.
That's
of course, you got
series,
Kyrie,
bro.
but you got so many bigs that the Lakers cannot handle. And if you have those many
Are
bigs,
you falling off the Lakers already?
I think the Mavericks, it's a matchup nightmare for the
It was
Lakers.
really a Mark
It
Williams
is-
thing.
it is
He
now.
literally
Anthony
had 2 days of enjoying life as a Laker fan.
Anthony Davis would drop 40 in that series. And nobody
what
could
would
guard
Luka do?
Kyrie in that series.
What would Luka do?
Luka would go crazy. Luka would be insane.
Yo, Vando wouldn't guard Kyrie semi-decently well.
I think he could.
I
yeah.
watched it
Vando
against.
starting?
I watched it against Ja.
you put. I mean, Vander wouldn't be starting.
No, but Vando would get a good amount.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But there's a good amount
I
of
won't
defenders.
be surprised if come down the stretch. I apologize, Joel. I wouldn't be surprised if come down the stretch Vandos are small ball 5. I mean
I think
that
he will
with
be.
my heart, my soul.
No, I think he will be.
And
we
honestly,
talked about that last episode.
that gives me a stomachache.
To throw at Luka, they got a good amount of defenders, though.
Well, I don't think going small ball against Dallas would be damn near impossible. You're just gonna get killed. You're gonna get
I
killed.
mean, I watched Walker Kessler go 8 for 8 last night, and it was all lobs.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that's why I think, the Lakers, they've been on a really good stretch right now, but the center position
Small ball
just
lineup
might be very
actually-
bad.
Small ball lineup might actually work in your favor.
I know.
I don't think so.
Then you can throw out Vando.
Yep.
You can throw out DFS. Like you can have Rui. You can have LeBron. Also, you playing wings and guards versus wings and guards.
It's their best lineup.
Bro, that
But I'm feeling much better about the
Luka,
Lakers.
LeBron, DFS.
Oh, you said small ball.
You said small ball.
I was thinking.
Yeah, but if they play small, the Mavs are going to play big.
Yeah, I agree. But you said Dallas small ball. I thought you were saying Dallas couldn't go small ball.
No. I'm saying if the Lakers go small ball, I think Dallas
How
can kill
gross
that.
nasty is this lineup? LeBron, Luka, DFS, Rui, Vando.
I think that the lineup's good. I just think matchup dependent. Like you do that against Denver and Jokic, that's food. Against the Mavericks and AD, that's gonna be food.
Against Jokic, no doubt. No doubt.
The Thunder could be like obviously they don't have the bigs. Like
What's their answer for that LeBron Luka combo though?
they don't have one.
Simple. AD's gonna guard Vando,
Okay.
and leave him wide open, and he's gonna play help side.
Okay.
You have Najee Marshall, you have PJ. They got some big bodies to throw. And I do think that
But Rui's gonna get his.
Facts.
You leave DFS open, he'll knock down a 3-pointer.
You have to give up something.
But I agree with
You're
you.
just gonna live with it.
But I
No,
don't
what you're
think-
gonna give up is leaving Vando wide open.
there's less
DFS, you gotta
answers
live with it.
on the other end for Anthony Davis than there are for Luka and LeBron.
I don't disagree.
In that particular matchup. And then I think Kyrie Irving, with the way he's playing at an
He's
elite
gonna
level.
kill Austin Reeves.
Yeah, like whoever guards him, maybe you have, maybe 10, 14
what is
minutes
Austin
of
Reeves gonna do
Vando.
to Kyrie? Let's be honest. He's gonna kill him too.
It ain't
Kyrie's a
gonna- it
good
ain't gonna
defender
look
when
the
he
same.
locks in.
It ain't gonna look the same.
That's a spicy white.
What? Kyrie could guard.
Austin Reeves
Kyrie
can,
can
if you're
guard.
gonna say that, then I can say Reeves can guard.
Not Kyrie. That's
No,
the
no,
difference
no.
here.
Kyrie
That's-
can guard better
Reeves
than Austin
cannot
Reeves.
guard, or excuse me, yes, that's fact. Reeves cannot guard Kyrie. Kyrie cannot guard Reeves.
Better, he can guard Reeves better than
Oh,
Reeves
yeah,
guard
that's
him.
not saying much though.
Nah, Kyrie could guard.
Kyrie
brother, you're
can
sleeping.
guard.
Kyrie can guard.
Yes.
He's not guarding Reeves.
Reeves ain't this and that. Kyrie can guard.
This guy's not watching Reeves. It's okay.
Nah, Reeves has been crazy this year.
Kyrie can guard.
I'll be honest. Like it takes the cream of the crop to be able to stop him. He's been that amazing.
Okay, you just gotta take it a step too far. Cream of
All
the
right,
crop.
on a serious note, stop. I'm being dead ass now. Austin Reeves has been a
If he
legitimate
kills
three-level
you, he
scorer.
kills you.
That's not someone you want to live with killing you the way he's been playing.
If
Fuck
you got
else you
Luka
gonna
and
do? Let LeBron
LeBron,
and
yeah,
Luka
you got
kill
no
you?
choice, bro.
Imagine
you got
that.
no choice.
From rags to riches.
Oh, man, no.
Don't the worst people
I
get the
don't
best
know.
things?
Hey, coming from you
just
damn
won.
right.
You just
The
won, right?
Lakers.
No, that's
no,
what he's
I'm saying
saying.
the Lakers.
He's being fucking hypocritical. As fuck.
The Lakers, man. We'll see. We'll
What
see.
happened?
We'll see.
We had a great 3 days.
Mark Williams, man.
Mark Williams, that's it? We're done?
That was supposed to be the
Okay.
need.
We have Luka.
I just had to start thinking logically now in my heart. And I think,
Have fun.
no, it's just the center's rotation is really bad. Like, it's bottom of the barrel. It's worse than the league bad.
And when Jackson Hayes got hurt yesterday, the game was over. I swear to God.
Was something serious?
Yes. No, well, I don't know if it's serious, but he didn't play the rest of the game.
Yeah,
and it's
saw
also
that.
right before the All-Star break.
Yeah, let him
we
chill.
literally need Jackson Hayes.
Desperately, actually.
It's crazy.
Desperately.
So, Rev, you said earlier that the Denver Nuggets don't group us all into thinking they're contenders. Do you think they're not? Are they falling? Are they teetering? Because I know in your tier list
That's
you
kind of how I
had them
took
up
it as
there.
well.
No, I said don't group me in that Denver thing where you guys think they're gonna win.
No, I didn't say they're going to win.
Oh, that's what I thought y'all said.
Okay.
They're contenders.
Do
I
you
just don't
think they're gonna win?
come out the West. No, I'm saying you think they're gonna come
He's
out
off the SGA bandwagon. It's over.
It depends on how the young players step up. I think right now they're getting some great contributions from Christian Brown, he's a ready-made playoff performer, so I don't got to worry about that. Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, Christian Brown. No, in the playoffs, he had some insane moments.
And he's been hooping. I don't see him falling off.
Yeah, and he's been so much better than KCP. That's a win from the offseason.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Julian Strawther's playing really well. Peyton Watson, Russell Westbrook's playing well. How does that look like in the playoffs? I think Christian Brown, I trust him to perform well, but will Strawther keep it up? Will Peyton Watson keep it up? Will Russell Westbrook keep it up, most importantly? But then you can make the same argument for OKC. They have a very young team. And last year, Chet didn't shoot well from three.
J-Dub was inefficient.
And J-Dub was up and down. He had his good games. He had his bad games. So, I feel like I can't knock down Denver too much for having young role players when OKC has young role players and stars.
So if I had told you to pick one now, who would you pick?
I think I'd go with Denver.
I'm with you, brother. I think I'd pick Denver right now.
I trust this OKC team. This defense is legit. And if you have a healthy Chet and a healthy Isaiah Hartenstein, that's a semi-decent answer for Nikola Jokic.
If Jamal Murray's playing like this...
I'll be honest, it doesn't matter to me.
They're coming out the West.
If Jamal Murray's playing like... So you're telling me we're getting Jamal Murray from 2 years ago?
I don't think he's going to play like this against OKC. And I'm not saying that he's not talented enough. I say that because the OKC Thunder have an answer for Jamal Murray, but multiple answers.
Who?
It does not matter. You
got defender
Caruso, you could throw J-Dub, you could throw Lou Dortz if you really, really want to. They have answers. Yeah, shut him up.
Jamal Murray is going to go back to the Jamal Murray that we've seen it all. He's not going to be last season's Jamal Murray.
I don't love Jamal Murray like I once did because I watched him kill the Lakers 2 years in a row. Regardless, I respect him as a talent. With all due respect, this OKC Thunder defense is different.
Are you just trying to find different teams that could possibly beat Boston? I feel like that's kind of what you're getting at.
Denver could do it if they're... Yeah, Denver could do it too.
That's why, because I feel like Denver's the matchup out west that I always feel
think, Boston, we know what they are. We know what they are already.
Champions, right?
They should be the favorites right now. They are favored.
Absolutely, brother.
But that doesn't mean that I don't think somebody could beat the favorites.
Of course.
But I do think they're favored right now. Mm-hmm. With the Denver and OKC matchup, I think that's going to be a heavyweight battle. It's... my stance. I've been saying it since last year. I think SGA and Jokic can cancel each other out in that series.
I think the Thunder win that series in 6.
Ali versus Tyson right there, right?
I think the Thunder win that series in 6 if they are healthy. If you have Chet healthy, you have Isaiah Hartenstein healthy. J-Dub, I don't even think he needs to be the best version of himself. He can just be the J-Dub that we're seeing right now. And
he has to be better than last playoffs, for sure.
I just want him to be the same player that he is in the regular season. He was far from that last year.
Yeah.
We can't sleep on Christian Brown's defense.
I don't disagree.
Christian Brown's a really good player.
But here's the thing. Who are we putting Christian Brown on?
SGA.
Okay.
That's the matchup.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Thunder
that's
win.
Food.
They
win.
With respect. It's difficult. Christian Brown is good.
I watched him get matched up on Derrick Jones Jr., on PJ Washington, the Mavericks were still able to win that series.
Brown is better than both of them defensively.
It does not matter who plays defense on him.
He's not as good enough defender to stop.
Is there a player in the world that can stop him?
Not really.
Nah, he's unguardable.
I'm being genuine when I ask this.
I'm just saying I think Christian Brown is one of those elite level dudes on the perimeter. You can put him with everybody because he has the foot speed.
No, he's really good, but he's not stopping.
He has the
agility.
He has the strength also. I think he's an elite perimeter defender in the playoffs, yes. From what I've seen, he guarded Anthony Edwards really well in the second round.
So that's what makes him elite, nothing else?
I just feel like his intangibles on defense, his athleticism. Bro, he is
a strong athlete.
He's strong and he's fast.
I mean strong.
Like Derrick Jones Jr.,
elite might be nuts.
Derrick Jones Jr., you're losing something with his defense. Yeah,
elite
you're
might
losing
be nuts.
strength.
Elite is fake crazy. I mean, you're losing.
Christian Brown,
you're giving up some inches. No, what's Christian Brown like? 6'5"?
He's 6'6".
6'6"?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Elite was
there's
6'6".
no one stopping him.
That's
Christian Brown, you can talk up.
And he's
to a normal basketball
like 6'5",
player.
maybe.
I think he's 6'6", 220.
You can't talk up Christian Brown when we're talking about defending SGA.
Who's a better perimeter defender, Asar or Christian Brown?
Asar.
Okay.
How about Herb Jones, Christian Jones?
Herb Jones.
Jaden McDaniels.
Caruso.
Lou Dortz.
Lou Dort.
Caruso. Drew Holiday. Derek White.
J-Dub.
I think that's closer, though.
Okay.
We're getting to that territory.
This is the tier.
All right, J-Dub.
Okay.
Tsunami Kamara.
Spitting.
Kamara.
Damn. Good shit, boy.
Had to pull out
I'm with you.
into the toolbox.
Vando.
Christian Brown.
Vando's still elite.
He is.
He's still elite.
I'm in.
Oh, yeah. That's easy. That's easy.
Not in the month of February.
Dylan Brooks.
Think that's close. I think we get into that territory.
Tari Eason.
I think that's close to. I mean, I'll go Tari and
I
Dylan
was gonna
Brooks,
say
though.
Tari been a demon.
Yeah, I'll go both of them over Christian Brown.
Okay.
So is he
How
elite?
many players do we get to
That was
before
like
you're not
15,
elite?
brother.
Or we just say you're elite
I
if
feel
you're
like
elite?
if you're top 10, you're elite.
Okay.
I just think you're mentioning to me a lot of great defensive players.
Is Drew Holiday still elite
did say-
defensively,
well,
Joel?
yeah,
I'm
he
asking
Took good
you.
defender. I mean, Drew Holiday's just had the issue with like quicker guys, like that could get a first step off him. Like he's a lot better definitely against like bigger, stronger, physical ones.
Okay.
But he's still a really good defender. Good team defender
We
too,
named
of
like
course.
15 dudes. I'm not even
No,
gonna-
we you named a decent amount of guys.
Yeah, you made me realize how
Keon
many
Ellis?
defenders are there. Christian Brown.
Okay. I'm thinking of more. Just starting to come into the brain. Ooh.
Denny
Dyson
Avdia.
Daniels.
Okay.
Fuck.
Dyson.
Yeah. That's another. I can't believe I forgot my brother. Damn. We got like 16. 17.
Mikael Bridges.
Oh, OG Anunoby.
That was rude.
Oh, gee, yeah.
OG. I think Mikel's a conversation. I mean,
We
he's
can
up
have
and
that
down.
Yeah,
conversation.
no,
I don't
he's
mind
6'1".
that
I
conversation.
understand.
Yes, he is up and down.
Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown.
Andrew Wiggins.
Now Christian Brown.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man when he's locked in.
No. Oh, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, that's like 20 names, dude. I think he's not elite.
You're just telling me that there's a lot of elite defensive talent in the league.
There's a lot
That
of
wasn't
really.
really. Yeah, but
Jalen
that's
Suggs or him?
I think that's close.
that was my
I'll go with
point.
Suggs.
Okay.
That was my point.
Bilal.
Spit.
We get into
Damn. We got some demons.
Whoa! What are we waving our hand at?
We're waving
I don't
because
watch
we're
the
trying to
Lizards.
figure
I
out
don't
the
care.
breakout was supposed to be this year.
Oh, no, Bilal's like that.
He probably
Bilal's
is.
a dog.
He probably is. I'm not going to tell
You
you,
just
that.
don't care
I'm-
about Wizards
I'm
basketball right
watching
now?
them. Oh my God.
You know
Bilal
why
Coulibaly.
I'm locked in on Bilal? I have him in fantasy basketball. I'm just gonna be transparent.
He's a good player.
He actually has been scoring a decent amount this season too.
He has terrible development in 2K, man.
Is he?
Yeah, he maxes out at like 13 a game.
What?
Yeah,
He's
so
gonna put his
averaging-
tendencies up.
like-
he's averaging 12 this year.
okay.
Yeah, on like pretty bad efficiency.
He has defensively he's there. Offensively, not great.
Yeah,
lit.
you know, everybody's
Lengthy.
Kawhi Leonard till it's time to be Kawhi
Who's better
Leonard.
on the perimeter, Wemby or Christian Brown?
Christian
What about
Brown.
Derrick Jones?
Oh, Bam
Christian
Adebayo
Brown.
on the perimeter.
Or Christian Brown?
Yeah,
Bam.
that's like 22
He waited for a
names.
second.
Yeah, that's like 22
Name me
names.
centers.
He can,
Name me
listen,
two guards that
I'm
are
gonna
better
take
defensively
Wemby,
than him.
respectfully.
two guards.
Just two guards.
I named like
Jalen
10.
We
Suggs.
named a son.
Caruso.
I think if we
Derek
just go
White.
That's
two
Okoro?
guards, it's like top. I'll go Christian
Yo,
Brown.
hold on. Darius Garland this season?
Yo, he's been Brown, but
Move on.
DG's defense. Evan Mobley in the perimeter. Or Christian Brown.
Evan Mobley.
Now we're getting. He's
I didn't
not,
have to think
Elite
about
was,
that.
Yeah,
I just
Elite was nuts.
I thought about that too long.
Elite was truly nuts.
I think the pretenders in the West are pretty easy though. The Grizzlies and the Rockets.
Yeah.
I agree. I'd also throw the Timberwolves in there, even that. Although
Would
they're
you say
starting
the
to trend in
Clippers
right way.
are pretenders, or are they in the middle?
I don't want to categorize them.
Okay, they're in the middle then.
Same
Joel,
story
don't
every
shake
year
your
with
head.
them. It's
If
just the
they
same
are
story every
healthy,
year.
if they are healthy,
They're a damn.
they
good
scare
team.
me.
They're a damn good team.
There's only two teams that put fear in my heart: the
You
Nuggets
might play 'em.
and a healthy Clippers.
The
Until
Clippers don't scare nobody.
until they're in the
What?
finals game one, they're not contenders. Until they actually go to the WCF,
Yep.
they're not contenders.
They went to the WCF.
I cannot visualize
It was
the
years
Clippers.
ago.
It's been a while.
I
It's a
cannot
completely
visualize
different
them
team.
winning 3 playoff
PG
series.
did that. Never
PG
forget-
did
never-
do that.
No, never forget because it's getting dark over here.
No, it's gonna be nasty, man.
Yeah.
You tweeted it's facts. The end of career PG on his legacy is gonna be
It's
nasty.
gonna hurt. We're gonna have to
You know what you have
remind
to hope?
people that
He
he's
retires.
You literally need him to retire this
Bro,
season.
But he's
Bro,
throwing away 150
Bro,
mil.
it's gonna be a point where we're gonna have to remind people how good he was before he was ass.
Bro, don't you remember him in Indiana?
Like, bro,
he
he-
went tit for tat with LeBron.
Like, bro, he was
That
good before this.
2021 run was special.
Yeah, he
he was a
good
top 3
before this,
player
man.
in the world with OKC.
Could do
Wasn't better than
everything.
KD's run.
Wait.
When he led the Clippers to the WCF.
Oh, you talking about KD
It wasn't better than
2012?
KD that year. KD
Oh,
with
the
the Nets.
2021?
Yes.
He didn't finish.
He was better than him in that run.
I mean, I don't care. He didn't get the job done.
Neither did Paul
They
George.
both choked if
Paul
you ask
George,
me.
no, Paul George got a job done. The Clippers never even made a Western Conference Finals.
Rafe, you're just going to have to live with the fact that PG missed those 2 free throws.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Kevin Durant went 0 for 6.
That's why I say they both choked.
And he had 50, pretty much.
Yeah, 50 when it didn't matter.
52
didn't
minutes
matter.
and he went 0 for 6 in OT.
Hate that for him. You missed the last 6 shots of the game.
Chris Middleton made more shots than you in OT.
Respect Chris Middleton. Champion.
He is a champion.
He had a great finals run. You were telling me about it.
He did have a great finals run. He was the Batman, you can argue, in that finals run. From clutch perspective, fourth quarters.
What's he doing?
Giannis
No, I'm
had
just
50 in
kidding.
game 6.
Okay, so surprises and disappointments of the season could be a team or a player.
Okay.
Let's talk about surprises first.
The obvious one's the Rockets. That's the obvious surprise. Even though they're starting to middle out, there was expectation for them to be the team that jumps this year. I had them as a play-in team. I never assumed that they'd be one of the best teams against the best teams in the league. Defensively and how great they've been able to lock down, you have to give respect to Ime Udoka. I understand that Mark Degnaut and Kenny Atkinson are the two favorites to win Coach of the Year. Ime Udoka has to be right there with those guys, though, if you ask me. What he's been able to do to get out of a core that the Rockets have really held on to and really put faith in these young guys. They just needed the right coach to get these players in the right direction. And I know that Amon took another leap this year, or took a leap in his game, not just this year. Obviously, he was a rookie last year, but we've seen him really develop as a player. We've seen Sengun give good minutes. We've seen Jalen Green in January and February play really strong basketball. This is just a really strong defensive-sounded team with Tari, with Dylan Brooks as well. And Jabari's missed about the last month of basketball. This has just been a great foundational team, just what they have going forward on the defensive side. They could use some offensive pieces, no doubt. But regardless, that them being one of the best teams in the league, that's one of the best surprises, if not the best.
Really, let's talk about our Detroit Pistons, man. 29 and 26 going into All-Star break. Look at us.
He says our Pistons. He had no idea that Asar went and has double digits the last like 6 games.
Killed me. He was like, really? Yeah, that killed me.
For the fucking 6 games. Okay. No, but our Detroit Pistons, man.
He'd walk into Boston and be the best defender on the team.
He might be one of the best defenders in the world.
Am I allowed to hate on Detroit a little bit? Am I allowed?
Why?
Because I can't stand the fact that Malik Beasley's good at basketball again.
He used to be. Yeah, he used to be good.
Like, it makes me so mad that he was great in Utah. He was great with Minnesota, excuse me. Well, did he play for both? Or
he didn't play for Utah.
He did play for Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota.
He didn't play for Utah.
Not Utah.
Got it.
Not Utah.
So, he was great with Minnesota. He was pretty fucking good with Milwaukee last year.
Did he win a 3-point contest?
No, I don't think he won.
He was in it.
And then now this year he's back with the Pistons. I just can't with the one stint with the Lakers. He was dog shit and unplayable. But other than that, you guys talk to me about the Pistons.
The Pistons been great. I mean, Cade Cunningham's a guy that I've been super high on for a really, really long time. You know, this is a guy #1 overall pick. This is a guy that's dealt with injuries. This is a guy that has gotten really bashed by the community.
What's
you know,
wrong with
and
this is
you know,
your
you just get a couple of guys around there like Tobias Harris's and Malik Beasley's, and all of a sudden this is an all-star. This is damn near an all-star starter. So the Detroit Pistons, especially after the year they had last year, where you give Monty Williams this ridiculous contract, he didn't even want to coach. You became the laughingstock of the NBA. You were so bad that the Washington Wizards and Kyle Kuzma thought they could make jokes on you. And to turn around just in this one season, changing coaches, just getting a couple of small pieces here and there. We're talking about top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. They're the biggest surprise to me.
For people who didn't watch the Pistons last year, I want you to know, this is the same Cade. This is just what it looks like when he has shooting around him. Monty Williams was putting up cancer-like numbers in the form of just truly killing that team, bro. Like, you putting Asar in the corner to shoot a 3-ball?
No, you
don't. Crazy. But
yeah, but no, I know, but don't really hear that often, you know?
He's a cancer.
He was. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Detroit doing their thing. I had a couple.
Is Cade going to develop as a playmaker?
I remember a guy told me one time how he was you know what's funny about that, bro? The guy that told me that was caping last podcast about Ant being a good playmaker. And then he said that Cade was a below. That speaks to what he thinks playmaking is with his eyes. Because Cade being a below average playmaker was a devastating statement. Hopefully one day he could retract on that statement.
What about the finishing numbers?
Yeah, he has to deflect to another part of his game.
I never said he was a bad playmaker.
He has a bad one.
No, I did not. A bad playmaker?
You said below average.
His playmaking is good. I never said he was bad.
Oh,
no,
man. But yeah.
He's not Tyrese Halliburton on playmaking.
No, he's just better, though. We can throw that out the window.
He's not healthy this year.
You know who's in Tyrese Halliburton conversations now? Austin Reeves.
Oh, he clears. This year he fucking clears.
Tyrese Halliburton's just averaging 18 and 8, but yeah, this is clears.
Tyrese's stinkers, bro. Oh my God, they're so bad.
Yo, wait. Podcast people watching us. This nigga Hallie on Prize Picks, they had a free score 4 point, and Hallie couldn't get 190. Do you know how bad that is for people to bet on the score was? And you didn't get it. He's had 0 multiple times this year. He's so bad, bro. He's so bad. Oh my God. He can't dribble left, bro. He's so bad. Yo, Hallie, bro.
I have tears in my eyes.
You're probably a good dude. You're probably a good person. You really ass. Like,
Oh my God, you're crazy.
like,
He's had 3 good games since that.
yo, maybe it's just when I
27,
watch
16,
him, I
8,
just
19,
get
9.
aggravated.
You catch the worst game.
Well, I think the issue with Hallie right now is everyone is comparing him to his
November
2-month
Hallie?
stretch from last year, his 1 month stretch.
He was healthy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, bro.
Bro, please stop, bro.
And if he's just not that, then
He
people
not
are still
healthy.
gonna shit on him.
Let
It
me
is what it is.
listen to
Diagnosed him
those
with
good
anything,
games,
bro.
Dehls. What were the good games since then?
Look at
I
the game
actually just
from
went to see.
19.
I just wanted to see what his splits are. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong year. But no, he had 19. What do you have? He had like 19 and 9,
bar.
17 and 8, 17 and 7. Like numbers that we're more accustomed to Hallie putting up. Or I want to see say custom because he's better than even the numbers he's putting up right now. But let me see what he's putting up in February. Even with that zero. Even with that zero, oh, okay, never mind, it's bad. But January was good. He put up 20 and round up 20 and 9 in January. 67% true shooting. He shot 44% from 3, 52% from the field, 83% from the line. So January he was good. He played 11 games. I wonder if he missed a couple or just hit a couple. Just didn't play as much. But he was really good in January. This month's been rough.
So on we're not gonna totally skip here. I know you got some more surprises.
I didn't even say what.
But one of my
He fucked me up.
disappointments was Tyrese Halliburton this season. That's when something I've been very disappointed in because I know this isn't the player that he is. And I know that I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something happened in his personal life. I don't know if it's injury. I don't know what it is. All I know is that this is not the version that I think he will be at his very best in his career. I think that we have still yet to see the best that Halliburton can offer for a full season. But it's been disappointing. Then I got the 76ers, Suns, and the Pelicans. I feel like all those 3 teams, we at least came into the season thinking they had a semblance of talent. Pelicans kind of got devastated by injuries, and Sixers in a way as well. But yeah, I just think all those teams have been major disappointments.
I was going to say, to add on to disappointments, I understand that Paul George and Joel Embiid have struggled with injuries. And I know we talk a lot about how Paul George is the definition of disappointment when it comes to basketball right now. But I do also have to include Joel Embiid with that. Joel Embiid just doesn't seem motivated, doesn't seem like the leader Philadelphia needs. The fact that people even rumble the idea that Maxi's the best player solely for the fact that he's on the court and he's present and he actually goes out there and tries and gives his 100% effort night in, night out. It speaks to the lack of drive and work ethic that Joel Embiid has. And that should never be the case. Joel Embiid's one of the best talents this league's ever seen. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Offensively, he's one of the most gifted bigs we've ever seen. He just lacks the drive and motivation to be great. And maybe we can also couple that with the fact that his body's not holding up. And that's a fair statement to make. And we can be fair to Embiid in that regard too. But it comes to a point where you need to start taking care of yourself. In the same way that people shit talk Zion is the same way that you have to keep that same energy for Joel Embiid. We know how great you can be when you're at your high. You're an MVP in this league. You go tit for tat with one of the best offensive peaks we've ever seen in Nikola Jokic. You're that great. We watched it in the Olympics when you went up against Jokic. We watched that Anthony Davis can't hang with him, but you can. So we know how great you can be when you're playing your best brand of basketball. Is it too much for basketball fans to want to see that on a night in, night out basis? I'm not saying you have to play 82 games, but come on, start showing the team that you care and want to start playing winning basketball. This is not playing back-to-back shit. This is not playing basketball, period. It's starting to get old, and it's starting to get sad. And I feel bad for Philadelphia. Me and my brother were talking about this and the process. It's over. There's nothing to trust. And the trust should have died when you didn't bring back Jimmy Butler, and that's fair. Choosing Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler was the turning point of the Philadelphia 76ers franchise. But you've tried. You've made moves. You got James Harden. This year now, you realize you move on. You go and you feel like this is the missing piece. And Paul George, he's been a bust. But you didn't have a third star last year, and you still were able to be successful. So I just need to start seeing consistency from the Philadelphia 76ers, but mostly from Joel Embiid. You're way too good for this.
Yeah, I feel like the Sixers have to be close to shutting him down for the season.
I'm with you.
He comes back for a couple games and misses some games. He gets late scratch when you think he's going to play. All the injuries he's dealt with throughout his career, and then including this season, where they are in the standings, I don't know if it's worth having him play these last 25, 30 games. You're terrible. They lost to the Pistons without Cade. Like they've had some just brutal, terrible losses. The other team I'll throw out there have been the Orlando Magic to me. The Orlando Magic, I thought were going to be a team that took a step up this year. Maybe not as great as the Rockets were prior to their losing streak, but something similar where they could have been in the top 4 or 5 seeds in the Eastern Conference, even with all the talent that the East has. But I know the biggest thing has been injuries for them. But even if you take out the injuries, they're 19-15 without Paolo, who, depending who you ask, is the best player. 19-15 without him.
We're asking you.
I think Paolo is the best player on the team.
Okay.
This year's been a little nasty, but regardless, I think out of all of the guys, out of him and Franz, I should say, I want him long term. They are 8-14 with Paolo. They are 7-9 with Paolo and Franz, who's dealt with his own injuries this year. So even when they've had their best and second best player play together, they have not been a good team. They haven't been a team that's 500. They were having some of their most success when it was just Franz playing, which is why I feel like a lot of the narrative switched from Paolo to, is Franz really the guy you want? Should he be the number one? Can they play together? Which I think is a bit overblown. I think they're too talented to not be able to figure it out. But they've been super disappointing to me, man. This is the second worst offense in basketball. I know the pieces aren't there to be a top 10 offense. I'm not expecting to be a top 10 offense, but you can't crack the top 20. The 29th, you're telling me the Brooklyn Nets have a better offense than you?
It's insane.
I feel like it's just way below where they should be. And of course, KCP has been a bust. Jalen Suggs been banged up. There's some reasons for it. But when you have Franz and Paolo, who one of them have been playing for majority of the season, the injuries have come at like kind of this different times for them. You have to be better than the second worst offense in basketball.
So I just want to piggyback off that Franz versus Paolo point. Franz this year in 1,188 minutes has a point differential of plus 13.7. It puts him in a 96th percentile. Paolo Banchero this year in 730 minutes has a point differential of minus 8.6. The worst on the team. Only
That's nasty.
Only over Trevelyan Queen and Caleb Houston. That's 14th percentile. D. Lee for 3 made a video on this. I want to shout him out because I saw it on TikTok. That it's the way they play the game that is the reason for these on and off splits. Paolo Banchero has a lot of Carmelo in his game in the fact that he is a ball stopper. And a lot of his assists that he gets are assists he gets from collapsing defenses or kick out passes, where Franz Wagner plays more within the flow of the offense. When you give it to Paolo, it's usually an isolation touch, something that's going to take a majority of the possession. Mm-hmm. With Franz, it's more so, being in a pick and roll and making skip passes and playmaking that way and getting his teammates more involved. And that's one of the reasons why they could be much better with Franz on the court, is just the play style. Paolo's play style is very much like the heliocentric stars we see in the league, like the Lukas of the world. But he doesn't have the same efficiencies as those guys. So, yeah, he's not as efficient from an isolation points per possession standpoint. And Franz Wagner, his play style is more so of a play style of a connector, like Jalen Williams. Mm-hmm. And that's why they get those different on and off splits. So I think that's the one thing that he pointed out in the video that he noticed is one of the biggest discrepancies for the on and off splits is just the play style that Paolo plays with on offense.
Yeah. The only thing I'll add to that is you made a move for KCP. You thought that would be great spacing for you. He's been dog shit this season. It's tragic, but it's true. We have been begging the Orlando Magic for seasons to get a scoring guard.
Nurkic said it.
Get a scoring guard.
Did you see Nurkic's quote?
What did he say?
He basically said to go get Anthony Simons. He said, "Oh yeah, they're just missing one player. One of my boys out there in Portland." I swear to God,
he's
bro.
spitting. Because realistically, you look at the vision for the Trailblazers, and you know what? They're starting to trend in the right direction, started winning some basketball games, regardless if it's middle of the season or not, whether it's going to continue or not. They're playing good basketball. And Anthony Simons has been contributing at a very high level on the offensive side as well. But you know what their direction is going to be. They want Scoot to be their potential point guard for the future. And I know Anthony Simons has the capabilities to do so, but think about the long-term vision of your team. Get more well-rounded pieces. Get some draft picks. Start to add to this core. Anthony Simons, you move him to Orlando. You both can win in that trade. But if you're Orlando, the fact that you sat on your hands for this trade deadline, it never sat right with me. You needed a guard. You needed a guy that can go and generate offense. But then you talk about the play styles that Paolo and Franz have that differentiate. You're 100% right, but you have no spacing. So it's impossible for Paolo to try and go downhill and attack because obviously he's going to be met with bodies, and it makes a lot of sense as to why that his assists are coming out of those types of situations. I wouldn't say it's impossible
because Franz Wagner does it with the same lineups. He attacks downhill and he gets to the basket, and he makes defenses collapse on him where defense is very static for Paolo because he's not driving downhill in the same way that Franz is. Because I would give Paolo that pass if there's not a player on the same team that is doing exactly what you're describing within the same lineups.
Franz is a better ball handler than Paolo, and that's one of the ways that you can go and you can attack downhill and at least have a tighter grip on getting to the rack.
Because his finishing ability around the rim is elite.
Franz, yes, it's great.
He makes certain layups, where he just floats it over. Like, he finishes over traffic at a really elite level.
Elite finisher.
I think Paolo needs a point guard to work with him and run offense. I think that would be beneficial for them.
I agree. Jalen Suggs is not a real point guard.
He's not. I think Jalen Suggs is amazing.
I think he's a good player. I think he can play, but that was the hope in getting, drafting Anthony Black, trying to bring in a point guard that can facilitate play, run the pick and roll. I agree. I think, even Nurkic, I know Simons isn't the prototypical playmaker you want, but that boy's a bucket. He's a shooter.
They just banked on a lot of prospects that weren't good shooters. Jalen Suggs
was supposed to be Jet Howard.
Wasn't a good shooter.
He did go to 40% last year. He hasn't been the same this year.
That worked last year, but Anthony Black, that's the main knock on him as a prospect, his shooting ability. And they got Jet, but they aren't really playing Jet like that. So, they need more shooting and spacing from their point guard position. Caleb Houston was supposed to be that
too.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a report that came out that the Magic's GM doesn't really make phone calls. Like, he takes phone calls, like people are calling him to try to make a deal, he'll do it. But he's not like going out and aggressively trying to make deals to improve the team.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's a fireable offense.
It's crazy.
You get rid of him immediately. Yeah. You need to be aggressive in trying to better the roster when you have two young stars.
Would be a really good in that system.
Because he's not going to be I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know you were going to speak.
Yeah, I was going to just say my surprise. I didn't really get the same issue.
Yeah, go.
Sure.
I'm just going to run them off real quick. Houston, obviously being a top 5 seed, being able to win at that high level while playing defense and struggling offense, something I was surprised about. Thought they'd be in the play-in, but they're not. Detroit, obviously we talked a little bit about that. Of course, Cade being the guy that he is. 3 others would be Tyler Hero. Him just being as efficient as a scorer, being able to take that next step in his game, being a more versatile scorer from the 3 levels, being efficient at it, being a more controlled ball handler. I think that was huge, and that's helped Miami stay in the playing hunt, and they love to stay competitive. Surprises is definitely Boncaro. Like we talked about Boncaro and Fran's lack of development playing together.
Disappointments these are?
That was a surprise. That it's not working. Like
that's fair.
You would think eventually you improve. It still feels like the same issues that have haunted this duo. And on top of that, them being injured at different times didn't help either. And then Jaren Jackson, there's always that conversation of, yeah, you're putting up numbers, you look good on a bad team. Can it translate? And you always have that, I can see the skill sets, I can make a guess, but still got to see it. Jaren Jackson has basically taken what he did last year and has done that while giving you arguably Defensive Player of the Year like ability on the other side. And while John Moran's not been himself, while Desmond Bane's both of them have been in and out the lineup struggling, Jaren Jackson has been their best scorer this year, just continuously keeping the team on his back. And that has been a surprise to me because I didn't think he would be able to translate this and them be as good as they are in the regular season. Disappointments, Suns, Sixers, and John Morant would be my other one. He would be my player just because of the fact that the jumper, when is it going to be consistent? When are you going to trust in your mid-range to take it more because you're good at it when you do it? When are you going to, unfortunately, and I don't even really want to say this, just the nagging injuries keep hindering your game. Also feel like his whistle hasn't been there, and he keeps losing his focus, losing his head in the game, and then you see the emotion. You see him starting to put his head down. That's not playing well. You are supposed to be the best player on your team. You've been lucky that you have Jaren Jackson. He stepped his game up, but in the playoffs, I still think you need 12 to be the best player on the team for this team to have a shot at making any type of run. So I think I get it. You know, you have this deadline with this All-Star break to kind of wind up, get back. I expect a much, much better second half of the season. You're the best playmaker. You're the best driver. I get it. They're not running the same pick and rolls. Your touches have dropped. You're not getting to the rim as much. But you have the ability to completely change a playoff game. We've seen that. They need you to be that. I expect that. So he would be my disappointment that I go deep into.
I have a lot of the same surprises as you. The Pistons and Cade is obvious. I think Toumani Camara taking the defensive leap that he's taken has also been a surprise. It's been a big reason why the Blazers... Yeah, the Blazers have been really good as of recently.
I told y'all about that Portland young core, man.
Anthony Edwards shooting leap, 42% on 10 attempts. I think it's pretty remarkable.
You wouldn't be surprised by this. You think he's God.
Yeah, you think he's a top 20 player of all time. This should be expected, I would say.
This should be, honestly,
42%. No, he's basically become, you ever saw that Mike Korzemba video? Lonzo Ball is Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. That's what Ant-Man is right now.
Type shit.
And he probably has a higher vertical, honestly, than just 40 inches.
I'm glad that you shouted out Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson has exceeded all of my expectations. And last year we saw an offensive jump, but I questioned whether we could see it translate to winning basketball. And this season, I've said it on multiple occasions, I can only do nothing but sing the praises of Jaren Jackson. So I would love to do a Would You Rather Jaren Jackson edition. Jaren Jackson been one of the best players in the league this season, all-star. I think it's deserved. So, first name up. Would you rather Jaren Jackson or Bam Adebayo?
Jaren Jackson Jr.
I would take Jaren.
Also taking Jaren, but shout out to my brother Bam. He's getting back.
Would you rather Jaren Jackson or Paolo Banchero?
What'd you say?
He's younger.
Oh.
Yeah. I think to lead a team, this is actually tough.
I'm going with Jaren Jackson Jr.
I'm believing in Paolo's upside. I'm believing in him as an offensive player, as a playmaker, as a number one option.
I've loved Jaren all year. I've been singing his praises all year. Give me the long-term potential of Banchero.
Jaren's been better than this year, though. No doubt.
Facts,
no doubt.
Facts.
Would you rather Jaren Jackson or Alperen Sengun?
Jaren Jackson, I'm not thinking.
I would take Jaren.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Would you rather Jaren Jackson or Karl Anthony Towns?
I'm taking Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Just
Jesus.
The defense, I think Jaren will forever be better, and I don't think he has to put out the same offensive output.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that easy because Cat has been one of the best bigs in basketball.
He's just so bad defensively.
But I mean, it's kind of the same thing like we just talked about with Paolo. Like I think Cat is having at least a better offensive season than Jaren, but Jaren can win DPOY this year.
Jaren Jackson or Chet Holmgren?
I'll take Chet.
Chet.
Right now, it's Jaren Jackson Jr.
Facts. But I'll take Chet.
Chet has more potential, though. Like, maybe next year he'll be better. But do I think if Jaren was on OKC right now, they'd be a better team? Yes, I do.
Jaren Jackson or Evan Mobley?
These dudes are on pace to have 70 wins. How much better are they going to be, bro?
Without him.
I know. If they had Chet, they may have won 75.
I know, but I'm saying they're doing this without him.
Comfortably, Evan Mobley.
Very comfortably.
I'm going with Evan Mobley.
Jaren Jackson or Jared Allen?
Comfortably Jaren Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jaren Jackson or Kristaps Porzingis?
Comfortably Jaren Jackson.
When healthy, if they're at their absolute best,
I'm taking KP.
I think it's KP.
I think it is KP as well, though.
I'm going to take the younger guy.
It is close. Next name up. Do I want to get crazy? I don't think I want to.
Jackson Hayes.
No, come on. Jaren Jackson or Domantas Sabonis?
Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
I would take Jackson.
Jeez.
Yeah. Just defensively.
Sabonis has been amazing this year defensively for his standards.
It's nowhere close.
For his standards, yeah. For
but
sure.
offensively,
he's been a
it's
good
not
defender,
close.
though, in general.
As a
Offensively,
passer, yes. Yeah, as a passer.
offensively.
No, yeah, the passer thing moves me. I'll be honest though, Jaren can score with the ball in his hands in the post, left hook, left block, right block, going left. He has the
Sabonis.
He has the dribble pull up. Like
He doesn't have that.
Jaren is a better ball handler. Like scoring,
The defense is a separator for me.
it's a gap. It's a seismic gap.
He's been incredible. All right, that's it.
I just have a couple other surprises and disappointments. Russell Westbrook would definitely be in my surprise group. I feel like I might be a bit premature because I said before the season that I think for the regular season he's going to be fantastic, but for the playoffs I am concerned, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And we talked about them already, but even though the Cavs are so great, I did not think the Cavs had any chance to win like 67 games. And that's what basically they're on pace for right now. So I think the Cavs deserve a ton of credit too, because we're just talking about them like, yeah, the best team in the East. They could go toe-to-toe with the Boston Celtics, but there were not a lot of people in the preseason who thought the Cleveland Cavaliers could win 65 plus games, be a number one seed, and be a real threat to Boston. So I want to give them their flowers. Disappointments, I have the Timberwolves and Julius Randle. I think they go hand in hand because Randle, the cat for Randle trade is a reason why they are disappointments. But even still, we thought this was going to be a team that could compete in the West, can be at minimum a top 6 seed. And they're a team right now that's fighting for a playing spot. They're a team that 9-9 out, you don't know what you're going to get from them. They just lost to a Dame and Giannis-less Bucks team last night where Ant Edwards was playing. Of course, the Cavs are phenomenal, but goddamn, should you be getting blown out by 25 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers? I think you're a better team than that. So the fact that they're in the situation they are now, of course, the Cat trade is looking like a mistake, but even still, that's a team that I thought was going to be better.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Franz and Paolo thing just to see if I'm getting this information correctly. So Paolo in isolation, 29% of the time he's in isolation versus I think Franz is I think at point it's weird how this is modeled pretty much, but they're just saying Franz's player comparisons and the player comparison thing that he made was J-Dub, Kuminga, RJ, Scotty, and Miles Bridges, and their average distance from the basket is from 12 and it varies to like 11, where Paolo and his average distance is much further than the basket. And he's more similar to archetypes like Brandon Ingram and Luka, guys who like dominate the ball. And I think the Ingram comp could be a good comp for Paolo.
You don't like the Luka comp?
I feel like it's his floor.
No. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Brandon Ingram hasn't really lived up to his potential, but Franz has him beat in basically possessions as a pick and roll ball handler, spot up.
Makes sense.
And then Paolo has him beat as like roll man possessions and then isolation possessions.
That makes sense to me, though.
Yeah, that's what makes up the bulk of his offensive usage.
I know Paolo's like a hybrid where like he's like a 3-4, but he still is, in all intensive purposes, a forward. He's still a forward. He's still going to have a majority of his opportunities rolling to the basket or those type of situations. So I'm not surprised at that.
I made a list of the top 5 best and worst free agents. No, sorry, not free agents.
Just signings.
The signings, yes. Free agent signings from the offseason. So technically, yes. So the best, honorable mention, I had Derrick Jones Jr. I couldn't put him in here just because I think Max Christie, if he continues to play like this, is going to be a phenomenal signing. $8 million for the next
contract,
4 years, $32 million for a starting player is a steal. Najee Marshall.
About Christie on the Lakers. Oh, shut the fuck up, Drew. You're a bitch.
He wasn't really doing much before this season.
No. But I was talking about this season, though.
Yeah, he's been balling.
I was talking about
he's been playing
Mavs due to necessity for sure.
Wait, but I had a coach on mine.
Okay,
Kenny Atkinson. Yeah, I thought him was easily the best signing of the summer.
I mean, 100% for what he did.
They have 44 wins.
I mean, they're
compared to what we were last year.
Give JJ Redick that Cavs roster.
Yeah.
I mean, we were 32 and 20, something like that, right?
Give JJ Redick that Cavs roster.
Yeah, no, we've been great.
Comparative
to last season is what I mean.
Mostly,
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe
Kenny,
yeah, I don't know.
You're right. I don't want to. Shame on me for putting JJ in the same light as Kenny Atkinson.
I think JJ's been brilliant this year.
But JJ's been amazing.
I think Kenny Atkinson is pretty good.
No doubt. But no, shame on me. Kenny.
Like if you give Kenny Atkinson the Lakers roster, I don't know. Maybe,
tell me what happens.
Maybe they're the same where they're at. Maybe a little lower.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't think a coach can come in and just replicate 44 wins from a team that was.
Was it right in the starts for Mobley to take this leap, or do you think Kenny aids a huge part of that? I agree.
They hired him for Evan Mobley.
I agree with that. Which is why I say Kenny.
The whole point of it was to get Kenny Atkinson to develop Mobley into that number 2 guy. That was what he drafted for,
and it's working.
Yeah, this is Chris Bosh with defense. That's his
Chris Bosh did play defense though, but not to this level.
I'm saying I'm talking about Toronto. Chris
Yo,
Bosh.
I was playing 2K yesterday and I was playing 3v3.
Whoa, what's wrong? Chris Bosh Hall of Famer.
I said I was talking about Chris Bosh in Toronto.
He was even better.
Not on defense.
No. He locked in on defense in Miami.
That's when he became a better defense.
He was goated in Toronto.
Yeah,
though.
I was saying that movie's gonna have that offensive peak with the defense of a demon.
I was playing 2K yesterday. I was playing threes, and one of my teammates kept throwing me lobs, and I was getting mad because that's not my build. I'm a center, but I'm not catching lobs, and I had the other team dying because you could hear each other when you guys play the other team. So people were talking shit, and this team was talking shit to me. They were insulting me the entire game.
That's rude.
But I made them laugh with this commentary because my teammates over here in transition throwing me a goddamn lob when I'm open. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, I'm not Blake Griffin. I'm Chris Bosh, bro. I was like, stop throwing me lobs. I'm Chris Bosh.
That's real.
Who deserves their number retired more in Miami? Chris Bosh or Jimmy Butler?
Chris Bosh. Are you kidding? He's a champion.
I understand both points. It'd be Chris Bosh. It has to be.
Damn.
He
He
retired.
has some
before.
stinkers, though.
I'm sorry. No.
Chris Bosh. The reason why
No.
I say that because
He had to sacrifice the most.
no,
did
the
sacrifice the
whole
What does that have to do with anything?
He
Chris
could
Bosh
have
had
got.
to-
He just could have got numbers in
All right, you know
Toronto.
what? Facts. Kevin Love getting his number
no,
retired
it's
in
different.
Cleveland.
Chris Bosh
Chris
had
Bosh
to
is much more impactful.
Chris Bosh converted.
Y'all forget
all
the stop that Kevin Love had. I'm sorry, he's just shit talking K
I'm saying
Love.
Chris Bosh converting the center. You know this better
Nah,
than anybody.
you're right, you're right.
Changed
It did
the whole
change. It
dynamic
did.
of the Miami Heat.
Shout out to
Big
Spo,
Three. Him
man.
being able to be a rim protector and a defensive,
Didn't he get the rebound and pass it out to Ray
did.
Allen?
He absolutely did.
Yeah,
How
just
about
that
the
play.
stop?
No, that's
The
Greg
stop on Steph Curry?
That's Greg Popovich's fault because
Yeah, he took Tim Duncan
It
out.
don't matter. Just that play.
Yeah.
All right, how about
That's
Kevin Love in
Nico
space
Harrison, Trey
saying,
Luka.
come on, Steph Curry, let's go. Are you kidding me?
Steph was hurt.
Kevin Love
Oh, cut the
underperformed.
bullshit.
Steph was hurt. Steph was
Kevin Love underperformed in every single playoffs.
Agreed.
Every time. And then in the
Do you
finals,
think-
he got
think I give a fuck?
his fucking chain snatched.
Draymond, he was guarded
No,
by
I know,
Draymond.
but he got his chain snatched in every big matchup. I swear to God.
Oh, really? How
Kevin
about
Love.
the big matchup versus Steph Curry on the perimeter?
That
for
one
the chip?
possession,
For the
yes,
chip.
hurt.
for
For
sure.
the chip.
For sure, he gets
He was
credit for
hurt.
that. Chris Bosh actually
And
played
Tristan
really
Thompson.
well.
Yo, Steph Curry needs to look in the mirror.
He won 4. More God.
KD
Even though
merchant.
Chris Bosh's numbers didn't always
I'll take
represent
my
what
shoe.
he added to the team. But okay, the
Next,
next
to say he deserves a number retired more than Jimmy
over Jimmy Butler,
Butler's
yes.
nuts.
Jimmy Butler won a championship.
It doesn't matter to me.
And if it wasn't for Chris Bosh's blood clots, he was on trajectory to
Really
even
nice.
have
No,
a
you're right.
post-future
You're right.
Miami.
Really nice
I agree with
career,
that.
man.
I agree with that
I mean,
wholeheartedly.
His last year, I
went
think he
to
was 19.
6.
Second round.
7 to Toronto. It was 6 or 7. 7. They went to 7 in Toronto. No Bosh.
I'm
They probably
tweaking.
would've-
He averaged 21 that year.
Yes.
He was
But
right.
if they had Bosh that series, they probably win that. They definitely win that. I'm tweaking.
Yeah, blood clots is insane.
So number 4, I have
Sorry, beat
Najee
it.
Marshall. 3 years, $27 million. I think he's been a
great
great
deal.
signing
Hey,
for the Mavs.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal.
Legend.
He has been. Yes. 3 is Malik Monk, 4 years, $77.9 mil. Maybe not the best signing for the Kings. He's still playing really well, but this is just great value for what he provides.
Why not the best signing for the Kings? Just because
Because
they're
the
not
Kings
winning?
are sort of directionless.
I would still rather have Malik Monk on that contract
Yeah,
and be
easily.
directionless.
Easily.
Because you
Steal.
could just
We talked about it. That was
Yeah.
And then
He's
number
the
1, I'm
best.
going with Isaiah Hartenstein, 3 years, $87 mil. You know,
Love it.
give him a nice little contract, but he's earned it, and he's playing really well. And especially in Chet's absence, a big reason why OKC started winning in dominant fashion is because he came back from injury.
No, I'm not going to disagree at all. Isaiah Hartenstein's been one of the best interior defense players all season long as he's been playing basketball. And the fact that he was able to replicate the defense that Chet gives OKC and them not fall off at all, it speaks volumes to how incredible he's been.
And then for the worst signings,
PG is 1.
Number 1.
number 1 is PG. It was easy to go from number 1 and 5.
I put IQ on my
KCP was 2. 3 years, $66 million. It's just terrible
Fine with
if
this.
he's giving you this production. 3 is Emmanuel Quickly, 5 years, $162 million.
It's because he's been hurt. These
It's
last
just a contract.
last couple of games, he's been playing well quickly.
It's just, you're paying him $32.5 million per year. I think that's a lot.
It is
For
It is.
him.
I think he's a good player though.
He is.
I think he's like $32 million. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. That's a lot.
He's getting paid 12 more than Malik Monk.
I just think
That's
that's
how I
why I
look
shut
at
up.
Patrick Williams at number 4, 5 years, $90 million.
Yeah.
It's really just been the same player he's always been, but this
Got
is a
worse.
pretty huge contract.
Bulls
It's
are-
dumb. When
Bulls
you
are
guys
crazy,
gave him
man.
the contract, we said it was dumb.
And DeMar
worse.
DeRozan, number 5, 3
can't
years,
get on board with
73.8 mil.
this.
There wasn't somebody else I could put here, but I just think, DeMar DeRozan, maybe it's just because I can't play with him on 2K, but I just think he's such a weird fit with the Kings, and you have him for 3 more years. He's one of those players that it's very hard to trade him because he doesn't fit anywhere. Like, what is he really? I feel like, if anything, he's like, I don't know. He's just, you're kind of trapped when you have him on your roster because you have to play a certain way.
And it's gonna be hard to move off him because, again, you need a specific roster. I had a couple other names. I had Derrick Jones on this list. He's been great for the Clippers. Their defense has been one of the best in the NBA all season long. Also, Malik Beasley on this list for the value they got him for. He's been over 40% from 3. He's been a big part for why Detroit's sitting at the 6th seed right now.
I hate him. There's nothing about Malik Beasley I like, truthfully.
Malik Beasley.
Klay Thompson, top 10.
You know what's crazy?
Yes.
He's gone through the ups and downs of a Klay Thompson
Klay, man.
season. There was a time where I really was. I shouldn't have been vocal about it. It's Klay Thompson. He's allowed to play mid, but then there was months where he was actually playing great basketball, and then there was months where he wasn't. It's Klay Thompson for you.
Yeah, I only have 3 names of disappointments or the bad signings. I couldn't really think of much outside of Pat Will, Paul George.
And even still off the top of my head to try and think of names out.
IQ is fair. The extension, I wasn't really thinking of that.
Yeah, the Paul George and KCP signings were by far the worst.
Can I ask, are we going to include Brandon Ingram's deal into this as a TBD?
It can be.
Definitely. If DeMar's on the list...
That's what I'm saying.
If like, or the Monk argument, like directionless, Toronto feels kind of directionless right now.
I like Toronto a lot better than Sacramento's situation. Just long term.
Their picks.
Just in the next like 2-3 years.
They have a couple extra picks from the Siakam trade too.
Honestly, I said that. I don't know why I said that.
Toronto has a couple extra picks. From
Siakam I don't know why I said that.
That's okay. That's understandable.
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, dude, KCP, we don't talk about him at all because obviously he's a role player and the Magic haven't been great, but it really has been one of the worst signings in a long time,
crazy.
Actually.
That's crazy.
It's like Duncan Robinson bad, even though Duncan Robinson had moments of coming back but then going away.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take the right bets, like Denver moving on from him and these other teams signing players that didn't cost as much, but the Mavericks with Quentin Grimes. The Sixers now trading for him. I'd much rather have Quentin Grimes than KCP right now.
Would you rather have Quentin Grimes or Caleb Martin?
Dude, would you rather have KCP or Sam Hauser? I'd rather have Sam Hauser.
I think we went too far there.
Dude, 40% from 3.
Nah, he is a sniper.
6'8", could defend a little bit. That has been great on defense this year.
Sam Hauser. Now we can move on to NFL. Free agency is around the corner. And the best position groups for free agency are guard, interior defensive lineman, inside linebacker, corner, and safety. Just going over the top names for each position. You have Sam Darnold at quarterback. You have T. Higgins at wide receiver with Chris Godwin. At left tackle, you have Ronnie Stanley and Garrett Bowles, who probably does re-sign back with Denver. And then at guard, you have Trey Smith, who is going to be the big major one.
No doubt.
You have interior defensive lineman Milton Williams from the Eagles. We know how big of a big-time player he is. You have Khalil Mack, Josh Sweat also hit an open market, Dre Greenlaw, Nick Bolton, Levante David, Bobby Wagner, and Zach Bond at linebacker. And at corner, you have DJ Reed, Charvarius Ward, Rasul Douglas, Carl Davis, Byron Murphy Jr., Asante Samuel Jr., who was hurt this past year. And then at safety, Javon Holland, Budda Baker, I think, re-signed with the Cardinals, Talanoa Hufanga, Cam Bynum, Justin Reed, Harrison Smith, Andre Sisco. There's a lot of impact players in the secondary in this class. And it's a lot of, just top key free agents. And I think number one might be T. Higgins, right? I think that's the one that everybody's looking at.
I'd agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have T. Higgins going to the Pats. I think the Pats, and you were talking about in the car, the Broncos are going to be 2 of the biggest suitors for him. And I think there's going to be a bidding war for T. Higgins. I wouldn't be surprised if he cracks like top 5 in terms of annual value this offseason, because after T. Higgins, the wide receiver market, there's like some decent depth, but a lot of these guys have question marks. You have Keenan Allen, who I feel like is probably a bit like a year removed from being a real impactful like wide receiver 2. He's more of a 3, I think, at this point of his career. Stephon Diggs is coming off a torn ACL. Amari Cooper's coming off his worst season, and Chris Godwin's coming off a season and injury. So once you get past T. Higgins, you don't really have like a reliable, definitely not number 1, but maybe not even number 2. I think Keenan Allen's your best bet. And actually, I think Keenan Allen has a decent chance of going to the Eagles. I wouldn't be surprised if he ring chases a little bit, takes a bit of a shorter deal, smaller contract, and is the wide receiver 3 in Philly. But yeah, I think T's going to get, 35 plus annually. I think he's going to get a big contract. But the Pats have been trying desperately for damn near a year now with all of these receivers, whether it's, Brandon Ayuk, whether it was T. Higgins last season. There have been a lot of reports of them going hard for wide receiver 1. And I think Drake May is viewed very positively around the league. Ian Rappaport had, what was his saying? He said there's some like mythical magic around Drake May in terms of NFL circles. There's a lot of hype around him. Obviously, you guys know how much I like him. So I think New England's going to go out there. They have a ton of cap space. And to me, their number 1 need is get a weapon for Drake May. I think T. Higgins ends up in New England.
I had 2 teams that I thought about. The first one was like a bit of a long shot, was the Commanders. A team that just went to the NFC Championship game. They have one guy, but I feel like they can bring another guy in that could complement them. I just don't know if they'll break the bank for him. And I think a team like the Carolina Panthers would break the bank for T. Higgins. And that's, for me, that is the number 1 team that I think is going to go, that he's going to go to, just because of the fact that you look at T. Higgins, I get going to the Patriots, but Carolina, division has Tampa Bay. They have the Falcons, who they're trying to figure out their quarterback stuff. And then they have the Saints, who are probably going to go into a rebuild. I think winning is going to weigh heavily, or where he can be a legit, real, dominating number one. How the division looks, I think that's going to weigh heavily, because I think both teams, like you mentioned the Patriots and the Panthers, I think they're going to break the bank fatigue, especially with the way he played with and without Jamar Chase. He just had an elite year. So for me, it's the Panthers. I think they're knocking on the door of potentially winning that division. I just think they need one really good offseason. T. Higgins would be a part of that.
And you look at the way that Bryce Young ended the season, it would give me nothing but the utmost confidence if I'm a front office to go out there and get him a weapon. We thought a big move was getting Deontay Johnson, especially after his number one weapon all last season was, 2 seasons ago, was Adam Thielen. And Adam Thielen was just getting peppered with targets, and Adam Thielen's washed. So we thought Deontay Johnson would be a nice boost. Deontay ended up being a wash for them. They ended up trading him mid-season. He gets cut left and right this past season. You need to give him a legit number one. And I think you go and you splash the cash for T. Higgins. That would be amazing. It would really get Carolina fans excited, but really it would just be a nice, huge safety blanket for Bryce Young. The last team, of course, has to be the Denver Broncos. We have money to spend, and I know that with Garrett Bowles being a free agent, there's definitely going to be money that we're going to spend there. We have to bring Garrett Bowles back. He's essential to what we're trying to do, but we need a number one. And I think that Courtland Sutton played amazing football this past season, over 1,000 yards, was fantastic. I think we do need more weapons, though. And I think that this offseason, I wouldn't be too mad if we passed on T. Higgins, try and go for a guy like Chris Godwin, try and save money there and try and fill out the rest of the roster. I told you, I'm very vocal. I'm trying to get a middle linebacker this past season, this upcoming season, whether that is Drake Greenlaw, whether that is Zach Bond. I would rather us spend top dollar on that and try and even out the offense, because we have great draft capital this season. We can get skill position players in the draft. So if we can go and we can get a guy like Chris Godwin, I feel like I'd be a little bit more inclined on that. But seeing that the Broncos are favorites to potentially land T. Higgins, you have to throw him in the ring. And with Bo Nix, you want to put great talent around him.
Part of me just feels like he's going to go back to the Bengals.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think Joe Burrow has been vocal on how much it means to him if he does come back. And I think the Bengals have the cap space to make any move possible. If they don't make this move, it's because they don't want to.
Can I ask a question?
All signs signal to them having the money to do it.
Can I ask, though, is it more important for them to sign T. Higgins or Trey Hendrickson?
You keep both. They could keep both.
Burrow said
definitely
he'll
keep
fix
both.
up his contract. Burrow
was breaking down exactly how they should do it, like he was a damn analyst.
And Joe Burrow, I mean, he's sensational without
Cincinnati.
Without both wide receivers on the field. Just this past year against the Ravens, he threw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns
He's
with
amazing.
no T. Higgins.
He's amazing.
Just Jamar.
But that's why I say that. You're going to have to pay Jamar.
Absolutely.
Jamar's going to get maybe 50.
You got to make Burrow happy.
Absolutely, but I think it is about Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow is making the media rounds, and I think Joe Burrow setting the standard. Like, hey, listen, like we got to set the standard in this building that if you perform for us, you're going to get rewarded and you're going to get paid.
But so what's Trey Hendrickson? Because Trey Hendrickson just led the league in sacks. Defensive linemen get paid. They get paid real money. So what? Trey Hendrickson is going to command maybe 30?
I think maybe the 25 to 30 million area.
So let's say this. Jamar is probably going to be upwards of 45 million, maybe $50 million. Maybe $50 million. So you're talking maybe $40 million for T. Higgins. Let's say 35 to 40.
I think T is probably like 30, because I just looked it up.
They can open up about $60 to $70 million of cap space.
The highest AAV is Justin Jefferson. He's getting 35 a year. So T probably maybe closer to like 32, 33. Jamar could get 40. Like he could get 38. You know what I mean? He's going to be the highest paid.
And
they could make that money work. It really depends on their offseason plan. I have belief that T. Higgins will stay with the Bengals. And just outside of that, just the major free agents that I think will be on the market.
It's just so much money that the Bengals have to allocate.
Yeah.
And I'm not, bro, these are the best of the best. Trey Hendrickson is one of the best D linemen in the league.
But that's what you do. I think, like the Eagles, they don't spend a lot of money on their defense. They've been drafting well, but they spend top dollar on their offense.
True.
And the Bengals,
some defense.
and I'm going to be honest, I think T. Higgins is more priority over Trey Hendrickson. I know Trey Hendrickson just led the league in sacks. The amount of attention T. Higgins takes off of Jamar Chase and how much that offense opens up.
I agree.
I would rather invest in T. Higgins and an offensive line and give Burrow that infrastructure on offense for his career and draft well on defense, which is something that they have yet to show. But, at least try to do that. Then leave him out to dry. We're talking about he's still playing with one of the worst offensive lines in football. And Trey Hendrickson,
Jamar, to be fair,
yeah,
like leave him out to dry. You have Jamar.
I know, but you don't have an offensive line. He's getting hit. He's taking those.
I mean, with T and
hits.
Jamar, he still has no line.
I know, but I'm saying I would rather pay T, not pay Trey, and then pay offensive linemen to help protect Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Trey Hendrickson is an elite level pure pass rusher. He's very bad in the run game. So I think if you want to start modeling your defense around guys who are physical and who can meet at the point of attack and better your run defense, there's an avenue for where I can understand the logic of moving on from Trey Hendrickson if you're starting to look for more of a edge rusher that sets the edges and is good against the run.
I'm with
and
you.
Finding an interior defensive lineman pass rusher. So I think
this a situation that can be changed in one season?
I think the Bengals, yes. I think it just depends on how they draft. You know,
we see it year after year that one good move at defensive coordinator with the Eagles, one good defensive draft class like the Jets a few years ago. You could go from the worst defense in football to a top 5 unit.
Eagles had the foundation. That being said, you pick up Zach Bond, you get Quinyon Mitchell, you get Cooper DeJean, you get CJ Gardner-Johnson back. Changes a ton. Yeah. I'm with you. Those were 4 impact players and Vic Fangio.
But I think the organization
Bengals have nothing.
They just have to set the standard of paying their players, because I think what Joe Burrow is voicing more so than anything is Jesse Bates was our best defensive player and you guys let him walk. DJ Reader was our best defensive player and you let him walk. You're about to let T. Higgins, our third best offensive player behind Burrow and Jamar Chase. You're going to let him walk. Who are you paying? The Bengals are paying nobody. The only person they're paying is Joe Burrow, and eventually it'll be Jamar Chase. They're not paying nobody. They can make this work if they really want to. And that's why it kind of pisses me off. Maybe they do it, maybe they don't. I just kind of have faith with all this pressure that Burrow's putting on our organization. They will cave, because I think if Burrow's going to take his career into his own hands. I think if they don't surround him with the requisite talent, he will ask out.
I mean, if he's being this open to the media already about these are the moves the front office has to make, like he's really up there talking like I would talk about the moves the Jets got to make in the offseason. Like he's talking about we could do this with my signing bonus, we could open this so we could sign
restructuring.
Like he's making all of those moves. So if he's doing this for his guys, I would not be surprised if he does the same thing, being like, listen, man, like Cincinnati, I love you, #1 overall pick, went to the Super Bowl together, but they're not giving me an opportunity to win. Like Joe Burrow, he's obviously as team as it gets. He's a great leader, but he should also be speaking up because they haven't been able to put together an offensive line. They've had some good defenses, but it hasn't been consistent. And the wide receivers have been there, but now you better let his #2 option go. So I wouldn't be surprised if he makes that move.
Where do you guys think Sam Darnold goes?
I think he goes to the Raiders. I think USC connection there with Pete Carroll. They just brought in Chip Kelly, too, who is the highest paid offensive coordinator. He's going to want to have some sort of quarterback. It's not going to be Gardner Minshew. They're selecting 6 right now in the draft, right? So they could possibly make a move to trade up. There have also been other reports that Deion Sanders could potentially move down where Shedeur goes if he doesn't want him in certain landing spots. And I feel like Pete Carroll has a ton of respect that Deion would be cool with him going to Las Vegas. But I think they're going to pay up for a quarterback, getting also an older head coach in Pete Carroll. Like he doesn't really have like a 7-year window to rebuild. He probably wants to compete in the next couple of seasons. And that division's crazy, man. You got the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. You got Herbert. You got Sean Payton and Bo Nix. You can't go out there with Gardner Minshew year in year out. You're going to be in 4th place no matter what. So I think they're a good mix of a team that's desperate for a quarterback that has the cap space and would probably go with a veteran over a rookie.
I understand the Raiders. That's why the thought of the Giants make a lot of sense to me, because Joe Shane, they have the pressure to win now, which is unfortunate for Giants fans. This isn't a team that's ready to win now. But with a lot of reports coming out that Matthew Stafford and the Giants could be a potential possibility, the Rams want the #3 overall pick. You and I were talking about this on the way here. It's not the craziest thing. If Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter get selected before the Giants are on the clock, I become a little bit more inclined to do so, because Matthew Stafford, you're obviously taking over Cam Ward. You're obviously taking him over Shedeur Sanders. But if at pick 3, the Giants have the opportunity to take Travis Hunter and or Abdul Carter, most likely Travis Hunter. I think Abdul Carter goes #2 to the Browns once Myles Garrett decided to request a trade. I think that makes a lot of sense there. I'll be very interested in doing that. Matthew Stafford, although he is up there in age, he's still amazing, and you can have immediate results with that. If you don't want to go that route and you'd rather take the least expensive, the not trade your #3 overall pick, you go and you sign Sam Darnold, and you sign him to what? I'm thinking $25 million.
Oh, nah. I think he's getting 30 plus.
I wouldn't be surprised. He stunk it up really bad.
But I mean, if you just look at some of the quarterback contracts, he's going to be like competing against. I'll pull it up real quick, but like if he signs $25 million, that's like the cheapest starting quarterback in the league.
I would sign him for a year for $35.
Geno makes 25, Baker makes 33. Those are like the cheapest quarterback deals for starters.
He should not make more money than either of them, respectfully. Yeah. That being said, I'll meet you in the middle. I'll sign a 2-year, $60 million contract. I don't feel good about it, truthfully. I do.
From the Giants?
I feel pretty good about $60 million for 2 years.
And then you can draft your quarterback next year.
I just think that you had 2 years for $40 million a year each year with Daniel Jones. You hated that. I know it's 10 minutes. Okay. If you feel that way, then it's...
Is he not?
He did have a much better season than Daniel Jones ever had.
He's a better pocket passer by far.
Agreed, for sure.
He just has more arm talent. He's just a more talented player.
He's better.
He is better. Listen, if you get $30 million, that's the outside of rookie contracts, that's the second cheapest quarterback deal out there.
I'm with you. So regardless how you shake it, I think the Giants definitely come to mind. They're in a gonna be forced into a win now situation with Shane's job on the line, with Dehls' job on the line, and I can see Darnold being that answer.
Darnold with the Giants, I like that with Brian Dable, Malik Neighbors.
The Stafford and MetLife.
Yeah, the Stafford trade intrigues me. Do you think it's going to take the third overall pick? If I was the Giants, I'd say no way I'm trading the third pick.
I'm going to be honest, unless...
I'll give them 2 seconds or something.
Hell no, it's Stafford.
The third overall pick?
Dude, this draft's not
one that's a cost-controlled blue-chip player for 4 or 5 years.
Third overall pick is a blue-chip player. You're getting Abdul, you're getting Travis, you're getting Ward, you're getting one of those 3.
Stafford went for the 5th pick, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a lot younger.
6th pick that they ended up trading back to get Jahmyr Gibbs.
2 firsts and a second.
2 firsts.
He's a lot younger.
I understand that.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He's also 35 years old still.
And he also just had a pretty up and down season.
And he
finished incredibly.
He's also someone who hasn't shown the ability or the willingness to redo his contract. He wants all the money he can get, which is your right as a player. And he's also somebody that is 35, but he's an old 35. He's not a Brady 35. He's a, you know what I mean? Like, he only has a couple more years with all the injuries he's had.
I'm not going to disagree with you. That being said, it's Matthew Stafford.
I get it.
I just think the third overall pick is crazy.
That would be the highest the highest pick trade we have seen for a player in a minute.
But if you don't have a chance at Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, it makes a lot of sense. I think the only 2 players that I would not want to trade that pick, if I'm on the clock and I have a shot at either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter's not even the best corner on the board, though.
Travis Hunter is going to be
Will
top 3 guaranteed.
I don't know. Travis Hunter is better.
I don't think so.
Travis Hunter is just
I think Will Johnson has way more quarterback skill.
Will Johnson doesn't have his speed. Will Johnson's like he's close to a 4-5 guy.
But he's a lockdown corner. I think
Travis. You're dealing with better athletes.
I think Travis is better in zone.
I like Travis.
I like both. I want to say that. I don't want to say like this is this is more of Will Johnson.
But this is the issue with what the Giants are in right now, because their GM and head coach know they have to win. So they're willing to do what's not best for the franchise, but what's best for 2025.
I like
that's
Darnold fit a lot. Yeah, I think Darnold makes sense. Even with the third overall pick, you bring in a player. I think they have some talent. They're not talentless.
They need a couple of receivers.
Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 more. They offensive line needs to improve, of course. It's depending on how much you like Tyrone Tracy and believe in that running game. So, there's holes on the team, but I think Darnold on a cost control deal makes a lot of sense. I think the Chiefs have a big offseason ahead of them, and just the players that are in free agency that used to belong to them. It's just Nick Bolton, who is a Pro Bowl level linebacker.
He's gone for sure.
Yeah, he's gone.
I think he's gone too. Teams like that just don't pay linebackers. And Nick Bolton is not in the elite tier to where you really pay him the money that he's going to command. Trey Smith, I think he's also going to walk. I don't think he's coming back to the Chiefs with. We just saw the guard deals that people got last year with Robert Hunt and stuff.
$30 million a year, bro.
Yeah, if you're the Chiefs, are you going to pay $100 million to somebody like that? Like, Trey Smith is amazing, but that's just too much money.
He's a Chicago Bear.
Tershawn Wharton, an interior defensive lineman, and then Justin Reed as well at safety. They have major free agents, and I'm interested to see who they bring back.
Downfall. We're here.
But Trey Smith, I like him a lot with the Bears, like you mentioned. I think they need to start building their offensive lineup, and I think it starts with free agency. This guard class is filled with dudes at guard. I talked about Trey Smith, but you have Will Fries, Tevin Jenkins, Kevin Zeitler, James Daniels, Mekhi Becton. then the older guys like Zach Martin and Brandon Scherf. This is the free agency to go and get a guard if you're
You
a
think
team.
Zach leaves?
Yes.
Someone's gonna hit a lick.
Zach who?
Martin.
Zach Martin. He's not the same player he once was. He's still very good, though.
But I feel like in a new situation, motivated, I'm not counting him out to
Tyron
still be
Smith.
elite.
I was just gonna say, I was gonna know with Tyron. Man.
Tyron Smith is terrible.
No, but
yeah.
Tyron Smith, he was really great that year before, but he's always been injured.
Yeah, Zach Martin just was he 34?
Which isn't crazy.
I mean,
Yeah,
for a
he's
guard
older.
like interior O lineman, you could last longer.
Yeah.
Pause.
So like this
Resume.
free agent class, I think for players like that, I look at the guard needed teams: the Patriots, the Raiders, Commanders, Chargers, Bears, Vikings, Bengals, Giants. It's a lot of teams that are going to be looking for that. Ronnie Stanley could be gone from the Ravens too.
Yeah.
Who knows if they
Ravens
wanna
fans
pay
have
him.
been very up and down on him.
Yeah,
His play, his injuries.
because he just had a great season, but the past 2 seasons for him have been rough.
Yeah.
And he just had a best season contract year. He's probably going to get top of the market money. That's another one. If
gotta
you're the
bring back Morgan
Patriots,
Moses, man.
yeah, if you're the Patriots, I'm looking at Ronnie Stanley as somebody to be Drake May's franchise left tackle.
Yeah, I think New England's going to be in all of these. They have damn near $120 million in cap space. They're going to be all over these offensive linemen and receivers.
I was gonna say, Garrett Bowles is still on the roster. He's still signed.
Is he signed through 2025?
He is. So there's a potential out in 27.
Yeah, I got this from PFF, so maybe they re-signed him because they had
I
Buda
feel like
Baker.
they did re-sign Garrett Bowles.
Yeah.
It says free agent 2029.
Yeah, so they probably re-signed him during the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing
Because
that.
once you said it, I was like, oh, is he really? So I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, we're here.
I think Ronnie Stanley is a free agent though.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Ravens are going to bring him back.
I don't know either. I think that if I'm them, maybe I use the first round pick on him.
Where's Justin Fields going?
I heard a lot of teams are calling.
A lot of
I
teams.
heard a lot of teams are calling.
He's the
man.
second best quarterback on the market.
He's probably going to the Rams.
You think he's like a backup role somewhere?
Yeah, like backup, learn under Matthew Stafford. I think he's done with Pittsburgh.
He goes to the Rams. I'm promising you. I'm telling you
We're
now.
back.
I'm putting all my
Sean
stock back
McVay,
in.
if Sean McVay personally calls, like,
did
I
it with
want
Baker.
Fields.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can turn him into a genius.
Was Wentz with the Rams?
He was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy G's with
Hasn't
them
worked
right
out.
now.
Hasn't worked out.
You could see Fields going to Tennessee maybe.
Jets.
Oh, no, I lied because Tennessee has number 1 pick. They're taking Cam Ward. Jets. Depends on what direction you guys want to
You're
go.
getting desperate.
I saw you guys might trade up for a quarterback.
I want Shador.
Well, Tyrod's going to be there no matter what. It's like, do you bring in Justin Fields or someone of his caliber, have like a quarterback battle type shit?
Dude, that's gross.
Broadway
I'm
Sanders,
not,
baby.
I think to turn around that defense, you could be
Imagine not having a
competitive.
quarterback. Couldn't be us.
Couldn't.
Tyrod could be better than Aaron Rodgers, I swear to God. It's such a low bar.
We just had a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
We
I
just
wouldn't
had
be
him.
mad with
In
Justin
your words,
Fields,
we
though.
had LeBron James.
What we saw in those
Yeah.
few games
was
with
good. He was
Pittsburgh,
solid.
he took care of the ball. That's his number
Made
one
some
thing. He
plays.
took care of the ball. He didn't have a bunch of like these huge, bomb plays or highlight plays that we saw some
They were
in
winning.
Chicago, but we didn't see as many of the crazy negative
were
plays
winning.
either. So I think that's what the Jets are going to want. They're going to want a guy that's going to take care of the ball.
They were winning.
You had 22 LeBron.
yeah.
When he was still still doing his thing. Just team's dog shit.
Russell
winning.
Wilson, he's gone from Pittsburgh, and there was reports that came out from there that Arthur Smith and him towards the end of the season, they kind of got into it because Russell Wilson wanted more freedom to change plays at the line, and that's kind of what he blamed his struggles on, not being able to have full autonomy at the line.
Can I be honest with you? I think every quarterback, in my humble opinion, let me not say every, damn near every single one should have the right to change the call of the line.
Especially if you're a vet.
Because if
Brock Purdy does it.
I mean, I'm
That's
sure.
'cause
No, there's
Shanahan.
certain
I
offenses
only-
like CJ doesn't either.
I only say this where, who the fuck are you on the sideline to see the
Kyle
field
Shanahan.
better than me?
Sean McVay.
While I'm on the field, in the moment, I'm reading this defense.
Somebody's
I
about
see
to
it.
blitz. Can I change? Nah.
It just
All right.
depends though, because I feel like even
Here we
if
go.
a coach is on the sideline watching the game,
Yeah.
there are certain coaches that I trust their intuition even
Facts.
more so of the quarterback that's playing.
I don't disagree.
There are certain quarterbacks that I trust what they see a lot, but I think an example of this is Jalen Hurts. He didn't have command at the line of scrimmage because Jason Kelsey was a veteran there for so long that he was the person that would call out the blitz calls and stuff. And there will be moments where he was dead wrong on it. And Jalen Hurts is, taking a brutal negative play because of it, and it's not his fault. But
I feel like it's also more difficult for the center. Like, you're bent over, you have the ball. Like, you could only see so much. The quarterback, you're looking over all these offensive linemen before you snap.
But this year, Hurts took that step, and he was able to change things at the line. Like a lot of the big plays of the Super Bowl were him changing certain plays or him just giving a pre-snap signal, like the gun signal to A.J. Brown to go deep and just beat Trent one-on-one. So he had that type of freedom at the line this year that last year in the seasons with Kelsey, he just didn't have.
Yeah. I have just a couple other just like running backs. Aaron Jones is probably the best running back on the open market. I'm going to the Chargers. I think the Chargers need some extra juice in the running back room. J.K. Dobbins, I think, could still re-sign there, but you need another running back there that's named not Gus Edwards. I don't think Aaron Jones is going to command a ton of money. And with Greg Roman there, we know they're going to want to run the ball. Even with Justin Herbert, even though they're going to bring in another receiver, I still think their identity on offense is going to be running the ball. Aaron Jones is the best running back in the open market. And even though we saw veteran running backs, have a bit of resurgence in terms of second contracts, I don't think anyone's going out of their way to pay Aaron Jones.
As you're saying that, there's a part of me that feels like he was good last year. I understand that the run game overall for Minnesota wasn't great. I do think that it was also in due part to just the interior offensive line not being the best. But that being said, Aaron Jones is still a solid football player. It's a matter of him staying on the football field, but when he is on the field, he's still an effective runner. He's still great in passing. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Chargers, truthfully, give a nice safety blanket to Herbert as well. We know that in the past, he definitely catered to that aspect of football with Austin Eckler. That was one of the main reasons why Austin Eckler was so effective, because how great he was in the passing attack. But I like that destination. I think that we do see J.K. Dobbins return, though. I think J.K. Dobbins, we saw the difference in the run game with the Chargers when J.K. Dobbins was healthy and on the field. He was by far and away the most explosive, the most dominant running back on their team. But I get your sentiment.
I had J.K. going to the Broncos.
That would fucking get me going.
I have Aaron Jones going to the Commanders.
Everyone to the Commanders.
Is Najee Harris?
I'm going back to Pittsburgh.
No. That's malpractice.
I think the number one offseason storyline I'm looking at is just how aggressive all the NFC East teams are going to be this offseason, because they're going to play the Eagles, 6 times a year. I know the Commanders most definitely are going to try to be as aggressive as possible.
Oh, for sure.
The Cowboys, they still have top-end talent, not much depth in there, but maybe they're aggressive. Who knows?
They said they're close.
They got like 3 top-end talent.
Maybe they do something, because last year they did nothing. Fair. And then the Giants, I think the Giants are with jobs on the line. This isn't a reset for them. This is kind of we're going to spend money and make this team as good as we can make it. So I'm just interested to see just the entire NFC as a whole, like how many are going to go all in and make these major moves.
Got DJ Reed going to the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah.
DJ Reed
needs some help in the secondary.
They got some young boys out there.
They got money. I think they need a vet though. I feel like they don't really have. They got Buda, I guess.
They got Garrett Williams.
For your guys' respective
Michael
teams,
Wilson, I believe.
For the Eagles, for the Jets, for the Ravens, Kansas City. Keep going. Whoever your favorite team is. Who's the guy that you want your team to target the most? For me, it's between Zach Bond and Dre Greenlaw. I feel like Dre Greenlaw may be a little cheaper, especially coming off of injury. I really would be interested in that. He said that he's vocal about wanting to be the linebacker one. He would definitely be that in Denver. I'm torn between those two guys. We've needed a linebacker for a couple of seasons. I think that would be my answer. I can understand people saying T. Higgins. I get it wholeheartedly, but I think we can find other avenues cheaper that could still help us in the long term. That would be mine.
It's not going to happen, but I want the Jets to do everything they can to keep Tay. He's going to leave, I know, but that's where I really want. Separately, though, I want them to bring back Morgan Moses. Morgan Moses has been fantastic at right tackle. They should have never got rid of him in the first place. They had to trade for him back last offseason, but this is the first time the Jets' offensive line has been good legitimately in like 10 plus years at this point. So the fact that we got a staple at left tackle and Olu, AVT, is he a free agent?
No.
He's got one more year?
He's on the team, yeah.
Joe Tippmann at center had another great year. John Simpson's a fine guard. I like the stability they had the offensive line. He's a guy that plays through injuries. He's a great locker room guy. So I want the Jets to bring back Morgan Moses.
Okay. I want Shedeur Sanders. That's it. For the Jets, I want Shedeur Sanders.
What about free agency?
I was thinking more free agency too, yeah. Because I could have gone.
Jamie and Sherwood, I want to re-sign him. Morgan Moses, we could re-sign him. And then we need, I think, if our draft pick goes quarterback, then I think we like bring in a Milton Williams, bring in the interior defensive line.
That'd be huge.
We really need to strengthen that unit. For the Chiefs, they just need a left tackle to protect Mahomes, and that's it. I think Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, that's a good starting point for your receivers. But I think what they lacked is that they don't really have somebody that scares you on the outside. Even if that's Rashee or that's Xavier Worthy, because where they do their damage on the field, you're not really worried about them. And Xavier Worthy's a speedster, but he's not physical, so he can very easily get bumped off his route. Where I think they really need a guy who can threaten the field vertically and just give Mahomes more help. I really felt like the Super Bowl exposed a lot of their weaknesses that they had all year, but he was carrying them. He was masking a lot of them. And Travis Kelce is at this point just very washed. He's one out of every 15 games he'll have a good one. And then I know I mentioned Milton Williams for the Jets, but I do think the team that desperately needs him the most is the Chargers or the Bengals. I think Milton Williams with Poona Ford not being on the Chargers no more, it's a big offseason for them as well. They're not going to have Poona Ford or Khalil Mack potentially. They're both free agents. So they need to get an edge rusher that plays to a Pro Bowl level, because Joey Bosa made the Pro Bowl, but he wasn't better than Khalil Mack this year. And Poona Ford, if he leaves, they need somebody to fill in that interior defensive line role. So I think the Bengals and the Chargers, more so the Bengals, it's a huge offseason for their defense.
Dehls, what do you want your Patriots to do?
T. Higgins, man. Go get T. Higgins. You've been talking that you want to spend top dollar. Go do it.
All right, Eagles, because you're going to lose some guys.
Zach Bond and Josh Sweat, man. If we could try to Zach Bond first for sure, and then Josh Sweat if we can. I feel like Josh Sweat has been with us. We drafted him. He's been a dog over here. I think Milton would be too expensive.
I agree.
I think Josh Sweat we could probably maybe try to get a good deal in
after that Super Bowl, man. I don't know.
Yeah, and then in the draft, I guess wide receiver 3, a guy like Isaiah Bond would be dope if we could get him. More corners, another safety, and a linebacker.
You think Marcus Golden goes before pick 32?
Yes and no.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
I got
Mark,
you.
the receiver? Matthew Golden?
The one from Texas.
Texas.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, Matthew Golden.
Apologize.
I think. Yeah, Matthew.
Who's Marcus?
I thought his name was Marcus too. But
I thought it was also Marcus.
Is it Marcus Golden? I thought it was Matthew
Damn,
Golden.
Joel, now you fucked me.
I don't know.
I thought it was Marcus Golden. I could be wrong.
I knew he was talking about.
It is Marcus.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was Matthew.
Wait, is it Marcus?
No, I know it's Matthew Golden.
All right.
It's
No,
Matthew.
Marcus Golden is a
Marcus?
football player.
Yeah.
He's a linebacker,
Matthew
actually.
Golden.
We're talking about the Texas guy.
He
He's
used
a
to play.
Texas
He used to
receiver.
play for Arizona. That's on me.
I thought there was a Mark.
We were in the same way.
Yeah,
Texas
yeah.
receiver.
For the Ravens, though, I liked him to go get DJ Reed.
I wasn't done.
My fault. That's all I had.
For my Bills,
Forgot you're talking.
I got for my Bills.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Go out and get a defensive star, man. Go out and
How much help does Josh Allen need, man?
Listen, man.
Go get a star.
Yeah,
Same thing for the Packers.
You know the lead leader.
Khalil Mack. I like
Myles Garrett
Yes.
has more sacks than every Bills pass rusher since 2019.
Not surprised.
It's Myles Garrett.
That tells me that you need a star out there, man.
It's Myles Garrett.
You need a star.
He probably has more sacks than like
a lot
of teams.
The point is, get a star.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna do much though. Like just continue to, try to get a defensive guy. I guess
Get another receiver out there too.
Yeah, I don't trust him getting Godwin because of obviously coming off an injury. Amari Cooper, you're gonna let walk. I think they draft another receiver. I think that's where they're.
Yeah.
I think Godwin goes back to the Bucs, unfortunately.
I think so too.
I hope so. I like him with the Bucks. It's cool.
I really want the Broncos to get a good wide receiver, but not spend crazy bread, and I think that is Chris Godwin.
And you know what Sean Payton said? He said that he thinks your receiving core is good.
Did you see
What
what
did
he
he say?
said, though?
Batman.
He said he wants a joker.
Oh, a joke.
Do you know what that means to me? Deebo Samuel.
Okay.
Oh, hell no.
What do you, he had some
Not
weird
now.
quote. He's like, receivers not a need, but it's a necessity. What
It's not a need.
It's
Something.
a must.
It's not a
some
must.
weird
It's a
shit.
need.
Because you're
It's not
just
a
like,
must,
it's
it's
not
a
a
They
need.
have
need. It's not a need.
they have
It's a
a
want.
perfectly good wide receiver
That's what
core.
it's not a must. It's a need.
Yeah.
I think they have a perfectly good wide receiver core as long as they have a stout tight end. That's what I think.
Denver?
And I think if they get Tyler Warren or Colson Loveland,
I need
you're
one more.
comfortable.
I
feel
love
that.
where Marvin Mims is heading.
And Troy
I get
Franklin.
it.
I think Troy Franklin got open.
They've just only really been gadget guys
Motherfucker
so
needs
far.
to catch.
I think Yeah, but it's tough to rely on a rookie tight end. I know we've seen it these last couple of years, like even dating back to Kyle Pitts, but
Tyler Warren, pick 20.
But more often than not,
Or
rookie
Donde.
tight ends take a while to develop, right? Like fucking Trey McBride's one of the best tight ends in football.
Hail
He didn't
Fanning.
do shit.
Remember the
his
guy they
fucking
took
rookie year.
before Brock Bowers? The rookie tight end before they took Brock, the year before?
Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Michael Mayer was a good prospect too,
He's just not.
but he's just not.
He's
fucking
not
Brock.
the athlete.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
They
he's
went
not.
back-to-back
He's
tight ends.
They
right?
still, I mean, they run
slower.
a shit ton of 2 tight end sets, but he's just blocking a lot of the time.
Once you get your quarterback, like it makes things like a little bit easier to live with. The fact that we don't have Brock Bowers on the team, it's like, we made the playoffs.
If
I don't
I'd
have
be
to worry
cool,
about
I'd be
quarterback.
cool with them with this plus a tight end if they had like a really great running back. But to have like average to below average running backs and then average to below average weapons, that's tough.
Bro,
with Knicks.
don't worry.
The offensive line's elite.
Judkins
so.
on the way.
No, that's a fact.
Trayvon
You
maybe
should-
on the way.
If you don't make an upgraded running back, there's
told him that.
huge issue.
Oh, do you? But I've been heavy
want-
on
just want
Trayvon
just want
because I
some
think Trayvon and
He's
or
a dog.
Judkins, one of them is going to the Raiders.
Yeah,
One of them
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to the Raiders.
Jesus Christ, they need 3 running backs.
But at pick 20,
Sincere McCormick, let me not
If-
disrespect.
Genty's available.
20.
I'm running to the podium.
I feel like Warren and Gent are both gonna be gone.
I think Warren guaranteed's gone. I think Genty, there's a shot.
There's just not a ton of like high end offensive talent. You know what I mean? Like Genty's the best offensive player in this draft.
How many people desperately need a running back? Like I say the
not a
Raiders.
lot.
Raiders desperately need a running back. Cowboys, that's the one that scares me the most.
Yeah.
But
A splashy pick for
Dude, the
Jerry Jones.
Oh, dude,
That's
such
more than
a-
anything. That's what it is. You know, it's not
Such
even
a
like a
hoe.
football
The
thing.
Saints.
Yeah, I mean they re-signed AK.
I think AK still has a couple more before.
Kellen
they,
Moore was
first
hyping
round
up
pick.
AK too.
First round pick on him.
The RBIS score is not count to that, brother.
No, I mean he's not explosive, but he's a really good pass catcher.
That's
That's
talking
kind of
about
AK.
AK.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying to use a first round pick on Genty if you're the Saints, you need help.
A little bit.
What's wrong with you over there? Schedule?
Said RBI score.
I don't know. I'm laughing. I just started laughing.
Where'd you get that shirt from, bro?
Oh, this?
State jersey, right?
Yeah, man. It was.
It's a brand.
It was sending ads all through my Instagram, so I was like, "Fuck it." I
They
got
got some
this
cool
one.
merch.
Got some net stuff. Got a bunch of jersey shorts.
Can I ask before we go on to the next topic? Do you care to finish the show without me?
We can go after this. I mean, we can end it right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm
yeah.
feeling that.
Yeah.
Because we are almost at
Yeah.
3, unless that 3 is from.
It's like 2.
No, it's fine. It's
like
really 2 hours,
18
30 minutes
minutes the
around
first.
there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So free agency officially starts March 10th on Monday. So
Hey, best time to be a Jets fan, man. I can't
Yes.
wait. Off season.
From March
So many-
to
so
like
much to be
early
optimistic
September, it couldn't be a better time to be a
Damn near,
Jets
it's
fan.
damn near longer than the NFL season, Riv.
Yeah, locked on Jets.
Hey,
Locked on Jets.
Jets fans, I know this past season we had our differences. I want to move them and leave that in 2024. Let's move and let's grow together. Hey, I never had issue with. This is really for me and Joel.
But when you disrespect the Jets,
You sit there
I'm
and you say
I'm
nothing.
listening.
But I say it all the time. Joel, I apologize.
I can't not hear it. You know
All right,
what I mean?
so if that's the
disrespecting
case,
his team.
That's what I'm
hey,
saying.
if that's the
Disrespect his
case,
team.
I'm still willing and I want to move forward and let's leave 2024 where it was and let's move forward together as bros. What do you think?
I don't know, man. He was nasty this year.
Was it not deserved? How
was
much do you
nasty.
guys shit on my Broncos?
He was nasty.
Y'all were shit talking Bo Nix left and right.
I just
You were
gotta-
here and then you left.
I have to understand it. I just have to know if this
Okay.
is a 1-year wonder or not for the Broncos.
So here we go. Here we go.
Let's see if they're the
You see
Giants
what
in
I'm saying?
2022.
Like, bro,
They're not going to be the Giants unless fucking
They can make a
just get
splash in free
injuries.
agency that'll make me raise an eyebrow a little bit.
raising eyebrow in a good way?
Yes.
Like, we get Zach Bond, you're up?
Yes, I think the Broncos have a chance to make a lot of moves.
And George Patton, we trust.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
We just got his
So-
nephew.
Are we here?
I don't know. What should we do? This guy was
Yeah,
so
we
rude.
should do it. I guess.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, was I? What did you say?
He said do it.
Does it mean that we're becoming Broncos fans? I mean,
Oh,
no, it
no,
doesn't.
no,
You know,
No, just
But
hey,
our
we're just
GM
Just cordial.
our GM
Exactly.
has ties to the Broncos.
Who?
And Sean Payne complimented, our Aaron Glenn hire.
Oh no, I mean
There's
our,
no
our
bad blood
whole
no more.
fucking front office is basically
Yeah,
Broncos guys.
there's no bad blood with the Broncos anymore.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Good, man. So listen, I say that with the idea in mind that I really want the best for you guys. You know,
So do I, man.
I'm tired of seeing dog shit. You know, like what we watched this past season was piss water. Like I think that I could take a shit and be better than what the Jets put forward. That being said, last night remark I'll put forward towards the Jets. I want the Jets to be good.
It's good for football, man.
It's just better when the Jets are good.
Football's been good for 10
They're
years.
beating the Eagles
Go for
with
15
Zach
years without the
Wilson.
Jets.
To be honest, this season was amazing. Bo Nix threw the second
Lombardi?
most touchdowns by rookie.
Soon.
We do have Lombardi.
Soon.
Have you seen it, Lombardi?
I've seen it.
No, with your Jets.
Oh,
Yes.
Yo, you know what they call
My
us?
Lombardi.
The
Show
Lombardi
him
Bros.
the Madden screenshot of Zach Wilson holding Lombardi.
Lombardi boys. I fuck with that one more.
Yeah, man.
The Barty boys? Hold on.
Lombardi.
But that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.